All right, it says we're live. It is Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're doing the thing. It's the RC Drift talk show that we do every single week. So if you're open on a Thursday night, or honestly, if you just want to tune in at any time, you can just pop on the YouTube channel, start and hit play, find any stream that you want. Take a little time to listen. I'm sorry, because it's a long time. But hey, so we've got Aaron with RC Drift Network on set here today, which his set. Yeah, I just thought of, yeah. That was about, yeah, anyway. Then we got DJ and Logan.
What up, gang? I totally said the wrong time. I don't know why I was thinking y'all started at 9 y'all's time, but it's 9 our time here in Texas.
Oh,
my bad.
So you were rushing then.
No, I didn't even know. I'm literally like, when you're like, all right, we need to go live, I was like, what?
Oh.
My bad.
My bad.
All
It's
right.
all good. We made it.
So usual casual stuff, and then we'll dig into the interviewing and all that other fun stuff that we do on this stream. Calendar events, really. The next STC Oregon round is the 24th of this month. So Memorial Weekend. It's a tough fit, but that's where it fell. If you're coming, it'll still be a fun time. No matter what, it's always going to be a fun time. Same track layout, Logan, or different track layout?
It'll be the same layout, but it'll be significantly different line.
Cool.
And yeah, we have a little bit of a surprise for that. So,
are you going the opposite direction? To be determined.
Yeah, I think we'll probably end up doing 2 more comps on this layout. So, but we have ways of making the line like significantly different.
For sure. And then as far as that goes, the only other planned event so far is 2 Drift to Death.
Yes, sir.
Which is the first weekend, August 8th through the 10th, right?
Yep.
It's that weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Show up on Friday, and then we lock the doors, and you're not allowed to leave until Sunday at 5 p.m.
Oh, crap. I didn't plan for that. Although, if I did bring a pad, would I be able to crash there? Although,
this can be arranged.
That might be a
possibility for certain people, not for everybody.
I mean, okay. So let's keep on going then. Yeah, those are the only 2 events that we've got so far. We usually have a few more car shows in tow and en route, but no, it's been pretty quiet on the scene. We'll find out later. Okay. DJ, what are you working on?
Another body on the chopping block today. Got a S15 Origin Lamb bow, whatever you want to call it. Origin Lamb. I don't know what you want to call body cuts, but S15 underway.
Which how are you going to be painting that one?
So I'm actually going to try to replicate the first body that I did because everyone wants me to bring it back.
Oh, the tan.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So I'm going to do it.
Shout out to bringing back old bodies. I got my old body.
Are you gonna compete with it at STC? Oh wait, no. You have a team body. Never mind.
Yeah, this is just a for fun body. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be epic. Like, go back to STC, like with the same color scheme that you had year 1.
Don't make me. I might bring it just in case. I mean, it will probably be done. The body, or the chassis that it's going on, it might be done. So,
oh,
I don't know if I want to bring it.
Is there another beast mode chassis that's being worked on?
No.
Okay.
No. This is the for fun chassis.
The OD.
The Golm.
Yeah, it's holding down all the paper over there.
The money pit.
All right, you guys.
Go anywhere.
So, you all, thanks for tuning in. Wow, I can't talk. It's been a long day today. Mitch is in here. Mitch is our guest for, what, the 22nd? So 2 weeks from now?
Next week?
Nope. Wait, next week?
Not next week.
Let me find out.
I don't remember. I thought he was coming up.
Next week is TRCR. Or
That's right,
TCRC. And 22nd is Mitch. And then Durkee after that. So we've got a stacked lineup, you guys. Get your questions ready, because it's going to be a fun time talking. All right, let's get to it. We got Aaron here. Aaron, you represent RC Drift Network, which is kind of a big thing.
What is that?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about you, and we'll go from there.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you guys for letting me come onto the show, because honestly, I think for a lot of us that are enthusiasts and into the hobby, I've only been in the hobby 2.5, going on 3 years this year it'll be. So a lot of us watch the show and see all the guests that come on, and it's kind of one of those things that's like, you know, I don't know, it feels really cool to be on this side of it and actually get to talk and not just be commenting. So thank you guys for letting me come on and talk with y'all. RCDN really started as just an Instagram page. Is actually we did a Texas tandem here with Joe at the hobby shop a couple years ago, and me and my buddy Brett, we teamed up together, you know, and I was posting like reels and stuff on my personal page, and I don't know, I've always had this thing where I was like, people don't really like, it's so much harder to get traction, the algorithm, whatever you want to call it. Like, it seems like a personal page, when it's a person, it doesn't get as much traction. So I was like, you know, let's create just a RC Drift, you know, general page. I'll share everybody's videos. Like, I'll share people at the track, I'll share videos of my car, I'll share, you know, whatever. I'll reshare people all over the country. So that was really kind of the thought behind it, was like, hey, let's just, you know, the more eyes, the more people that see drift videos on Instagram and Facebook. My thought is, you know, more people that walk into our shops and walk in, you know, and want to, they go, oh man, I saw this on YouTube, or I saw it on Instagram, and I wanted to know how I got started. So, you know, that's my thing. That's why I post a lot. I mean, I try to post every day if I can. And a lot of that is just, you know, just try to keep getting eyes on it. Try to keep people coming in and, you know, finding our shop in San Antonio. You know, we've gone up and down. When I first started out, there's a pretty strong, we called them like the OGs. I think every track has their OGs, right?
For sure.
And they had their way of kind of doing things. They had worked out a deal with the track owner that, you know, for the time that they had done it, they had started it out and helped him build everything, basically put this whole thing together in the mall. And they weren't, you know, having to pay really that much. And, you know, so when I came into it, there was kind of like some questions of like who paid, who didn't pay, who was an OG, you know, and it was hard on the employees. And then there was internet drama, right? Like you'd get people that, you know, there's all this stuff going on. So I started having conversations with the owner, Robbie, and just asking him, like, what are your goals? Like, how can we make the track better? And we started talking about, you know, the check-in process and things like that. And just, I mean, we really started kind of collaborating more, where I don't feel like there was, it was just hard for them to have that collaboration in the beginning for whatever.
Oh, we lost him.
Be gone. What is with people dropping the connection all the time now? I feel like this happens a lot.
I mean, for Joe, there was an obvious reason.
Yeah, he was out in the middle of nowhere.
Hold on, let me message him. No.
He got yeeted. What's up, everybody in chat? Thanks for tuning in. Got a lot of names on here I recognize.
Yeah, we got C-Note in here too.
Yeah, we got Puerto Rico represented.
All the
Mitch is waiting.
guys.
DJ's working on goms and
know.
No,
eating donuts.
Yeah.
DJ is working
Golf
on
down
donuts. Them donuts.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and we lost him. Lost him.
Fully dropped.
And it's gonna look weird for a little bit, you guys. Yeah.
I was thinking that too, Jake. I was like, he's just frozen, like physically.
Watch his phone battery died. Watch that.
Yeah, something like that.
Man, I wish I would have fixed my template, but I haven't been doing that. Yeah, you guys,
Be right back.
what did you think of the donut themed Insta post? Was it too much? Was it just enough? Was it too bright?
The one that you did?
Yeah, the one that I did.
Yeah, I think it was good. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It was very different from what I typically do, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, usually you just try to find like a logo, right? But
Yeah.
was that like let me look at it. How'd you find that video? Is that just like an AI background video?
No, it's Adobe stock.
Got you.
I might as well use it if I have it.
Yeah.
although I only use the free stuff. I'm too cheap to actually buy into that.
So do you have to pay a monthly fee or anything?
Yeah, just like any other like asset library, but they have like a trial that you can sign on for, but that's kind of bogus too.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Oh, they've been doing fiber work in my hood. Of course.
Internet smoke.
Internets. So I guess while we're here, DJ loves donuts. Of
Just
course.
the boys. What do you guys want to talk about?
Projects. Let's go to projects. What are you guys working on? I might as well fix this as we go. Hold on.
Well, I'm actually
Oh.
excited.
Well, okay.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Oh.
No, we can
You
still
have some parts on the way, but anyway.
more Gom
There it
parts.
Yeah,
All
maybe.
parts.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
He said maybe.
Nope. He said Gom parts and then he bounced again.
And then he's gone. Oh no.
Oh no. Well, DJ, what Gom parts?
I'm actually trying to remember what's coming in right now. I'm pretty sure it's the triple wiper setup, the rear arm like link mounts to like actually like hook up your toe blocks, or sorry, the turnbuckles. And
Did you get the Ackerman adjustment plate for the bottom of the triple wiper?
yeah, it's the Type 2 one. Apparently they made an updated like kit version that just came out, so it comes with everything, I guess.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Notice how he said he doesn't even know exactly what's coming.
Right.
But yeah,
That's
yeah,
Gom
there's-
owner.
That's straight Gom issues.
Straight up.
there's
Gom.
stuff on the way.
Who knows?
You know.
He's like, I don't even think about the money anymore.
That's bad, DJ.
I'm pretty much hopefully summed up because I did actually order the multi-purpose like transmission, and then a couple of other like transmission like well, I guess I should say diffs. I got a diff. I don't know which one it was. It was like a ball diff gear drive or something. Or sorry, ball diff belt drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I have a ball diff gear drive right now. Yeah, I got a ball diff gear drive rear motor.
Yeah.
So I don't really
I don't
have any projects per se, but I just kind of mess with my car a bit. So oh, he's back. We don't have to hear what I'm saying. Oh, It's shameful.
Is it shameful?
Like, did he get kicked?
No,
immediately?
he's here.
Back. Okay.
So, Aaron, how's that fiber?
It's great.
Are they?
Thank you, Google.
Well, is it Google or is it the actual internet connection?
I'm not 100% sure. It's been acting weird. They like dug up my whole front yard the other day, and I don't know. They said they were upgrading me for free, which to me sounds like there was something wrong, because like, why do you just upgrade people for free, right? So but yeah, it's been kind of spotty, and I got 3 kids that are inside probably trying to watch 3 different Netflix shows and play Roblox and everything. I just told my 9-year-old, I was like, hey, cut the Roblox for the night.
I need all the upload speed.
Yeah.
Nah, that's fine. That's good. I mean, there used to be a time where DJ, we knew exactly when people started watching Netflix at DJs.
Just immediately.
Yeah, it would start just like being all jittery and crap. Speaking of kaijus, people are talking about kaijus in chat. I have confirmed my kaiju. It's going to be number 16, I believe. But it's going to be a DDSS front and a GOM rear. So I don't know how many like mixed chassis are coming, but yeah.
I don't know how the serials work, but I got 17, so
Well, there you
we're
go.
like right next to each other.
Nice.
At least
guys are
I'm
buddies.
assuming that it's 16. That's what's on the the spreadsheet that he showed me.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
interested to see it.
so hopefully we can keep you on for like a length of time, so
Yeah.
we can get
Well,
some
it
information out
seems
of you.
better.
Okay.
Y'all are clearer now. Earlier, y'all were more glitchy, like y'all were pixelated. So I think I've got a better connection on my side too.
Cool.
Right on. Okay, so back to it.
Yeah, where did I cut out? I was rambling. I don't even know where I lost you guys. Everyone just froze, and I was like, "Yeah, I lost them."
Well, you were talking about your relationship with the owner, and I think it's kind of something that a lot of, depending on what shop you're at, like there's a lot of shops out there that are owned by people that were already into the hobby and knew a lot about it already, and then there's a lot of tracks out there with owners that just had a space available and had to work with their community to try to figure out what's best. So you're just kind of talking about what that was like in San Antonio when you started.
So RCHQ is they're phenomenal at Mini Z. Like they do World Mini Z racing. They just went to Super G last month and did a regionals. That regional Mini Z race, they helped them, run that whole thing. So Robbie, Melinda, Grant, they're really good. Grant is in close with PN Racing. He's a team driver with them. So they do an awesome job over there. Robbie is he bought a GOM while he was out at Super G, and he's building that up. So he's going through the overdose woes right now. But thankfully there's probably 6 or 7 of us there in San Antonio that have one now. So he's had help, we've been able to get it driving pretty good. So it's mainly stock, but yeah, I mean, just kind of bridging that gap for them and helping them to hear more of the community. I think this, RC drift is strange. I don't have a lot of RC experience. I mean, I never, other than like being a kid, having like Walmart RC cars, I stumbled upon RC drifting. I was walking through the mall. I saw the store. I actually walked in to get a drag car. Like I saw the dragsters sitting there. And the guy that was behind the counter was like, it's an expensive hobby, and he did not sell me on dragsters at all, which is hilarious because he actually does drag racing. But he was like, dude, I spent so much money on this car, He's like, have you ever seen the drift cars? And I was like, no, not really. He's like, well, go check out the track. So I walked over to the track, and there was a couple people drifting. I was like, hey, is it difficult? Like, how hard is this? And they were like, it's hard. So I was like, all right, sign me up, so I walked over there, bought a drift car, bought an MST 2.0, started sliding it around in my kitchen, just wherever I could. And then at the time they were doing a thing where it was like when you bought your car, you got a month, your first month membership was comp or whatever. So that first month, I mean, my first 30 days, I probably went to the track 30 times. Like every day that I could go, I was there, and I would drive and I would be like, hey, like, what's the next thing? Like, what should I buy for this thing? And they'd be like, go buy a gyro and a servo. So I'd walk over to the store, I'd buy a gyro and a servo, come over there, drive it. You know, I'm like, all right, what's the next thing I can buy for this thing? So it went like that for the first couple months. I totally hopped up my MST. And then one day they had a ZX in the store. They were like, you know, hey, I saw it was, you know, nice and shiny. I was like, that's cool. So, you know, bought it, swapped all my electronics. It's just been that whole thing. So, and then I've had a lot of help, you know, luckily, like I have a GOM now, pretty much fully optioned, but we have a ongoing joke. I know you guys all know Junior Barba here in San Antonio. A lot of us are funded by the Bank of Junior, so he's he's funny. He buys like everything that he wants. You know, he likes to try all the stuff that comes out, so he'll buy it and then he's like, hey, I'm selling this. So he let me make some payments to him, thankfully, because I couldn't just drop, you know, a couple grand on a chassis like that. So but yeah, it's been an addiction the last 3 years. I mean, I just went head over heels for it.
You went ham, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a hobby jumper. Like I've played all sorts of sports. I'm good at golf. I used to play a lot of golf, like semi-pro golf stuff when I was getting out of college and everything. Tried music, like DJing, you know, and music engineer type stuff. And then, you know, just bounced around to a lot of different stuff. But then when I found the RC drift stuff, it was just like, wow, this is something that I had never, you know, as far as a passion for a hobby goes, like I wake up and I'm like, my car sits on my desk. Like I have my little garage sitting over here. Yeah. Like it's a part of my life and everything that I do. And like, I don't know, we call our track, like they have it tagged on Facebook, Hobby Therapy by RCHQ. Yeah. It's called Drift Away. Yeah. And a lot of that is, you know, that's intentional on, you know, what we feel like this hobby is just, it's therapy for a lot of us. It's a place to get away and just, you know, have that, you know, hour or two, whatever time we can break away. I mean, there's times that I go to the track and the guys are like, dude, you've only been here for 30 minutes. And I'm like, you don't understand, man. That 30 minutes is like important to me. It's important to my mental well-being. So totally. My day doesn't feel complete at this point. It's like, you know, seeing my family or anything like that. So definitely head over heels, love the hobby, and the majority, you know, I want to see it keep growing. And that's why I keep pushing. RCDN is just I don't know, I'm hard on myself a lot because I'm like, I don't have a single original thought cross my brain, I think. Like a couple months ago, I stumbled across a Instagram page called RC DriftNet. And it's a page that was Joey and Steve and all of that. And I'm sure some of the OGs probably know about that. And I facepalmed so hard when I found that page. I was like, what? I mean, and it's not like a page that has 100, like they did it for a while. It's a great page. And so, you know, I was like, damn. But, you know, I think it's a good idea, like us having that forum where we're sharing stuff from all over the country, all over the world now at this point. Like, you know, I've connected with so many people who feel connected to it. And I think that that's something that, you know I felt I was missing when I started out, was immediately you start seeing these teams and, you know, all this camaraderie that gets built up between people. And you're like, I want that. I want to feel like I'm a part of a community or part of something, you know? So that's kind of what it is. And I mean, it's growing fast. Like, here in San Antonio, I'm constantly like bringing more people in. I'm bringing more people in, and I don't want to make my OG guys feel like they're any less important. But the big thing is just, you know, giving people that feeling of community, that feeling of connection with other people. And it's been really cool. I mean, we have a core group of guys that we all talk, you know, daily, constantly chatting with each other. And then there's, you know, the next layer of people who are constantly supporting and repping the brand and resharing stuff. And I don't know. I haven't really, there's been no strategy to any of it. It's just listening to what other people are saying, kind of trying to feel out what the community is doing, and then share it, just share it for us, share it for other people. Yeah, I mean, again, the more that all of us grow, the more that we can put into our tracks, the more people come out. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Like more people involved is better for almost everybody.
Yeah.
Like
it can be rough. Like, don't get me wrong. We've
Yeah.
gone through some pains. We've gone through those times where, you got all the new people coming out, and, people are crashing into stuff and they can't tandem and stuff. But,
yeah,
um,
but like there's so many people at my track now that, like, I would think, if you compared like my thoughts the first time I ever saw them at the track to now, it's like, yeah, their first day I saw them and they were struggling, but now, they're all driving really good. So,
well, and I try to reinforce to people constantly. I'm like, man, we all were there, because that's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
right? We all go out there and you hear it. You're like, oh, I don't want to be in y'all's way. I don't want to be in y'all's way. And
Of
I'm
course,
like, you're
yeah.
not. You're not in my way. Like, there's a handful of guys that might get agitated about stuff, but I think for the most part, like, we all realize, like, hey, I was there at that
You gotta
point. As
start
long as people aren't dive bombing you and like T-boning you into the wall and stuff, like,
Yeah. yeah, that's the
there's
only
those
time
moments where you're like, calm down. Just
that's
a
the
little
only
bit.
time I've ever like had an issue with someone driving on the track was
You're
when
like,
they're
you got to
like,
relax a little
just
bit.
straight missiling into people. and
Respect
stuff.
the what we're
Yeah.
doing here. But
You mentioned that you kind of started pretty raw. Basically, you just saw the shop and bought a car. So you had zero RC experience before then?
yeah, I don't. Maybe like a month prior, I went up to Tennessee, and my like 15-year-old cousin had a Basher,
Oh, cool.
and it was the first time that I had ever worked a remote that
With
had
the
the
wheel?
wheel on the
Okay.
side like that. So
Oh,
I was
geez.
like, wow, this is weird.
Were
And I
you-
didn't even want to drive it. I was like, dude, it was fast. I was like, I don't want to
Yeah.
mess up your truck, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was really my first experience with RC.
Were you into drifting at all?
Kind of. I mean, I'm not really a great example of it because I don't have like a 1-to-1. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have a super. I had a STI wagon, like a '08 Kim Block. The freaking cool STI wagon.
Yep.
But other than that, like, if you pull up a S14, S13, and an S15, and you're like, tell me which ones, I fail. Like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
So you
know?
were like aware of drifting, but it's not like something
Oh,
that
yeah.
you were super into.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
badass. Like, I love it. I would love to drift.
Well, I meant like
just-
before.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I've seen Formula Drift, I've watched it, but even
Okay.
still, like, I'm not one to watch a whole lot of it on TV and stuff. And I get a lot of guys that, they're like, oh, I watch tons of FD stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I
that's-
don't know.
The point I'm kind of getting at is like the way that you started is like one of the more, as far as like a learning curve goes, you had that's like that kind of start point is like probably the hardest one because you're not really. Were you playing any kind of drifting games or anything before? Yeah.
No,
So if you're not doing that, you're not driving RC cars.
not really mechanically. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Other than changing exhaust, like, I'm a plumber by trade, so I can, like, I know how to work my tools and stuff, and I can do enough to get myself in trouble. But like, camber, caster, Ackerman, all this stuff, I'm like, I'm learning this on the fly. There's still a
Yeah.
lot of it that's like, people ask me stuff and they're like, well, what do I do about this? And I'm like, you ask Hector, or you ask Lewis, or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
So-
steer you wrong.
That's what's cool about it is like to show people that you don't have to have. Basically, you started off at square one, like you had no previous experience that would help you out, and it's possible. You just have to put in the time, but that is
Too
tough,
much time.
tough. Yeah, a
Too
lot of
much.
time.
No way. Never too much time.
I told Robbie, the owner, because like I said, he's going through the overdose woes and trying to get that car driving good. And I'm like, a lot of us that are driving these cars really well have spent like just ridiculous amounts of time sitting. And he knows it because
Yeah.
he sees us, he sees us tinkering. And
Yeah,
I've spent the last 6 months just working on my car. Like since finals, I felt so good with my car at finals. I tried to switch to the TC deck and it didn't work. Like I switched after I got knocked out at finals. I literally went over there. Ito was helping me work on the car because we couldn't figure out why we couldn't get the bulkhead to line up. Like we figured out all those issues that night. And since that day, I've been fighting with my golf, like trying to get it feeling back to how it did, because it felt good at finals. Like I was really comfortable with how my car drove. It was more of a nerves thing for me, you know. So that was my first really big competition, anything like that. So, you know, I finally, like this week, have gotten it back with the help of all of my buddies in San Antonio, you know, Manuel, and, you know, telling me how to change spacers, and my buddy Brett, like rebuilding my suspension. Like, I swear, I just kept saying, I was like, I know it's going to be like one screw that's loose or something so stupid. And it was, I mean, it was literally in the midst of all the searching. I had switched my spacers on my front arms from 3 millimeters to 1 millimeter, and it was just making the car drive terrible. Like there was probably other things in conjunction with it at the time when I did that, but from that time on, I could never, like, I tried so many different settings and I could never get it to just hold right. It just wanted to spin at full angle. So
it's funny how that happens. Like there's so many times where I've been kind of like going through I only have one chassis, so the fact that this happens is like even crazier. But like I go through and find things that I did and I'm like, why did I do that? What the hell happened there? But then what's more common is I find like uneven spacer use on either side. Like I'll have 2 on one side and 3 on the other, and I'm just like, oh my god. Or a lot of the times if I have issues, it's just the servo horn is loose.
Gotten loose. I'm bad about eyeballing until I just can't anymore. So yeah, I typically will eyeball it till I have to put it on the rack, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is way off. Nice.
Yeah, I try to just do my best to keep linkages the same length, but even then, like, you can measure with the caliper all you want on arms and stuff, but it's not gonna,
I'm glad you said that, because everyone's about the whole micrometer, like it has to be equal. We're not dealing with perfect chassis, you guys.
Yeah, you can make them equal. Doesn't really mean it's gonna be centered.
Oh my god. There's so much stuff, so much crazy stuff that I've done to my car that I found out later. Like when I went over to the Futaba GYD and, you know, that whole Accuvance like environment, I was trimming and doing all sorts of stuff and like not centering, not getting the actual like servo and everything truly back to center. I had trim in places, and when it finally clicked, I was like, wow. I had my car like 90% trimmed one way, but I was like, well, it's at neutral point. I set the neutral, you know, so it had full lock either way. It wasn't like my Yokomo stuff where if it was trimmed 80% one way, it only moved a little bit and then it'd move all the way. Like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I tell people like that stuff is not for the faint of heart. You have to like messing with your car if you want to go down that path.
There's definitely like Ideal Auto Factory is saying in the chat, like there's so many things in my chassis that I'm like, I need to change that or fix it, or, you know, do the right piece here with the right screw. And I'm like, I'll do that when I get home. And then
never do it.
And I'm back at the track and I'm like, oh yeah, this thing's messed up.
Yep. That's me with batteries too. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll charge tonight, and then I just never do it.
Oh, it's the opposite for me. It's like I try to be really good at discharging and just keeping them at storage because I'm not at the track that often. But yeah, it takes a while sometimes for me to remember.
I don't think I've ever discharged a battery or put a battery into storage, to be completely honest.
I mean, you discharge batteries all the time. It's just
often enough.
Yeah, I'm bad with, like, I don't know, that to me that's one of the like hardest things, and I don't know if that's like a liability thing, but I don't know. There's no information about like charging or batteries or lipos, like other than, hey, they're really dangerous. Put them in a bag, you know, like, am I off bait? Like, do y'all know of any good resources of like, you know, where are beginners supposed to go when they buy their first RTR and they're like, how do I charge this thing?
Just don't go to a racetrack. Whatever you do, don't go to a racetrack because they'll say, let's charge it 40 amps. We'll get your battery charged real fast.
No, I've seen some crazy stuff. Yeah.
Like you, I'm fairly new to the sport. So like a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, I had done RC stuff before, so I kind of knew what was up with batteries, but like a lot of those questions were answered by the Roadside YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. He has a ton of great beginner videos.
Kind of
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
probably what I found too, honestly, because I know that's what I did. Like I'm a YouTube Academy graduate, so every time I want to learn something, I'm on YouTube looking it up.
I mean, honestly, if you're not doing that in this generation, you're missing out on so much.
Yep, absolutely.
Vito, that's crazy.
6.8. That's not bad. It's as long as it's above 3 for each cell.
Dude, anyway. I don't know. I just don't want to tell people anything and then them burn their house down or something. And like, you know, they come at you and they're like, you said to charge it like this. And I'm just like,
that's the fucked up part is that you can follow all the rules and
it still fuck up.
And it still burns stuff down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking around to see if I have any sitting next to me. Actually, don't need them spontaneously combusting on us.
And like, we saw James. Well, I didn't see it, but Logan and DJ saw James's car burst into flames.
I did not see that one actually.
Oh, well, fine.
Yeah, we were in Arizona. I think.
That's right. Okay, fine. Well, yeah, one of the drivers had one of their cars literally on fire and ran out of the track. So, happens to anyone.
That was like correct me if I'm wrong. Well, was there another drift car that burned down at PDX before?
I'm not sure. I know Jake's in chat. You know.
I know there's plenty of buggies that have, but I don't remember.
They just had a fire at Super G this past weekend. I think the Tech One event.
Tech One thing,
the LiPo bag.
Yeah. I mean, I know we've had multiple in Texas. Like, thankfully, none of them that have been catastrophic, right? The owner has almost burned his house down here, he said. And I mean, just in 2.5 years, I've seen like countless posts. I tell people all the time, I'm like, and I do now. They'll see like I'll unplug people's batteries at the track now because to me that's the fastest way for us to lose the track. We've already had them go up in the mall, especially since we're in a shopping mall like that.
Yeah. Even if one goes off, like even if it doesn't burn anything, the mall people are still going to be.
Oh yeah, they're in there. There's an incident report, and worst case scenario is one of those fire suppression systems goes off. Then we're really in trouble.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't think the alarms at the old location were actually working.
No.
Not at Portland.
And the new spot, you'd have to have like full blown fire going.
So you guys in the Pacific Northwest up there, I've heard of like RC Fight Club. Is that around you guys or what?
So that's so we're in Portland, and then that's like
4 hours.
A group that's up in Seattle.
So are they like a group? They don't have like a dedicated track? Is that the whole like Fight Club thing, or is that just the name that they went with?
It's pretty much just always been a group. There's never been like a long term. Well, I don't know if that's true, but in the last few years, there hasn't been a long term like permanent track in Seattle, in Washington.
Yeah.
I love that name. Like that's to me like one of the coolest like of all the groups, like RC Fight Club.
Their logo like kind of matches the Fight Club logo. It's pretty cool.
We're doing Drift Wars right now, which, you know, again, no original thoughts here. So Joey commented on a post from like 2019 where they were doing Drift Wars at Super G. But I mean, I really like, you know, that whole format that, you know, it's just another way of comping. It's just, you know, a name to throw on something, but
we kind of wanted to ask you about that. Like, what's Drift Wars and how, like, what we've all talked about some kind of like, you know,
ladder system ranking
bracket list thing. So what are you guys doing for that? I'll be right back.
It's It's really cool, actually. So I went, it was about 3 months ago now. I went up to Ultimate Indoor RC, which is in Kima. That's over in Houston, where they launched the NASA. They got NASA and all that stuff there. So they're like right on the water. Super cool shop. Those guys, they actually, their shop was like closing down. The owners were basically like, we're done, we're out, you know. And a group of them got together and were like, we don't want to lose our spot. So they bought in as a group of friends just to keep it. Like one of the guys, Calvin, he just hit his 1 year anniversary of drifting. And I think he had been, I don't know, I'm not going to say how long he'd been drifting, but it hadn't been very long. And he was already owning a shop. So they're really cool dudes. They kind of had that idea and came up with it as a way to battle amongst their team. So I was out there, I can't even remember what I went up there for. I think at Matsuri, or just to, drive with them, and saw them doing their list. I was like, what is this? Like, what are y'all doing? And they were like, oh, we battle, just like Street Wars, if you've ever seen the drag racing show, they battle up and down the list, similar thing, so I was like, man, that's cool. No original ideas, right? So I was like, do y'all mind if I expand, like take this down to San Antonio? I think our guys would really like it. That's one of the things we've been missing in San Antonio, is some kind of competition. We don't do any comps there. We'll throw some Matsuris here and there, but it's really just, we just drive, it's just been a chill spot. So,
and it's not like there's not opportunities for you guys to comp nearby.
Anyways,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we've got a lot of shops. I mean, the hobby shop is about an hour and a half away from us. They're doing SDC. And then Texas has just exploded in general. Like pretty much everybody's got J-Tile now. Dark is getting their J-Tile. Drift Lounge just put their J-Tile down. Yeah. Hobby Shop, Garage, like all these guys. So now we went from being, like all concrete or VCT to pretty much everybody's on J-Tile now. And then RCHQ and Ultimate are on polished concrete. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely options, but I could still sense from the community, they were like, let's start doing some comps, but maybe some new guy comps, make them new friendly. And so, I saw the Drift Wars thing, but it didn't really solve that problem of like, how do you get the new guys to do that, right? Because a brand new guy coming in, he's like, oh, I'm not good enough to be on the list, right?
Yeah.
So with our Drift Wars, we're kind of playing two games at one time. They have the list, which is the top 10, and then they're just accumulating points in general. So anybody can challenge anybody once a week. And we've gotten it now to where we're just doing it on Wednesdays pretty much. Wednesday night is our Drift Wars night. So we were going to do it any night, but tracking all of that and figuring out how that works was just, it was...
Yeah, when certain people aren't there, having to report scores.
Well, I challenged him on this day and da-da-da-da. So we just said, look, Wednesdays are the day you have to be there. If you're not there, if you're on the list and you don't show up on a Wednesday, you drop 2 spots automatically. So we didn't want to make it to where it was like, if you miss one night, you completely fall off of the list. So we've had to just kind of like tweak and come up with rules. I mean, nothing has really been super set in stone. I've built a lot of it with the community. Like, what do you guys think about this? How do y'all want to go about it? Do you want to be able to challenge and knock someone all the way off the list, or, so, but then, so anyways, I kind of got sidetracked there. They can get points. Each battle that they do is 3 points. So, if a new guy wants to challenge a new guy, they feel a lot more comfortable doing that than having to challenge somebody who's up on that top 10 list, right? So it's given them the opportunity to do that and then get that feeling of pressure, battling, I mean, there's really no pressure because it's just us. Like, we're just buddies hanging out, driving together. But man, I find myself like I'm up there, getting the shakes and stuff, like on a weeknight, drift battle. So it's been cool to experience that with them and show them a little bit what it's like to comp, and then it helps them work on the battling, the tandem portion of it, instead of just doing hot laps, because I think we get in that habit of just hot lapping And if you're not working on something necessarily, or you don't have someone showing you a better line, the progress, it doesn't seem like it's as quick, I feel like. Whereas, we went probably 3 or 4 months of guys that were just kind of like, slowly getting better. And then, we started Drift Wars and it just skyrocketed. Like, these guys have gotten so much better in the last 3 months. They're challenging each other. We had like 25 battles last night that we went through. And each week it's like, can we get more battle time? Can we get more battle time?
It's something that I think is very important for anyone that is interested in the competitive side of drifting. Like, because we kind of had this situation at our track where this off season we didn't have any kind of competitive outlet. Basically, since Worlds, there was one comp that we did like a couple weeks or a week before the first round of SDC, but other than that, there was no competition stuff at all. Which, when I started at the old track, we did Tandem Tuesday, so that was every week. We would just everybody will sign up, we'll do a bracket, done. But the thing is, what that does for you is it's just exposure to that, that mode of like, I have to do this right now, I can't fuck up, and I have to beat this guy. And I think, like I said, for anyone that is interested in the competitive side of things, the more exposure you have to actual competitive battles, just the better you'll be in that environment. Because even if it's just a random Tandem Tuesday or like a random single Drift Wars battle, like that will get you going, and that will like help you drive in that environment for sure. So it's pretty cool.
Well, even some of the people that competed at last STC comp basically said that they would have never come if you guys didn't have like the beginners comp, right?
Yeah, I think that was definitely a really good idea, but I also think like it was kind of even the first one. So none of the members of our like shop team entered the first one. I think even that one was a little bit of a wake up call for some people, because that was their first time ever doing any type of competitive driving, and it was like, oh yeah, this is a whole different level of this sport. And some of those people got really excited about it because of that. And then same with the next comp, it was almost like now we're all entering it as well, and it was like we raised the bar basically again. But I do feel a little bit bad, and we've talked about maybe starting up Tandem Tuesday again. It just became an issue of like attendance mostly, but I kind of feel bad that some people weren't given basically the same opportunity that DJ and I were. Like, for the first year we were doing Tandem Tuesday every week. So, and I think that shows in our
one of the things I talked with a lot of the track owners, like we just had ROC Drift in Ontario that just started up with theirs. And it's such a common theme, like that you said, attendance, right? Like keeping people engaged, keeping them coming out. I think like for us, we have a membership, and that's part of that secondary game. So them just battling each other, they can earn points, 3 points per battle. We just added a new rule where just showing up and drifting for the day gets them 3 points. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to reward participation, showing up,
that's
putting in the time, doing the battles, challenge, putting yourself in those situations. But I think, really for me, it's just a consistency and giving people like a weekly thing to strive for. So what we do is on that monthly point battle list, whoever has the most points gets a membership for the next month. Like they get their membership comp. So to me, a membership comp, like I'm not a track owner. I am a business owner. I own a plumbing business. So I understand, the costs of doing business. But to me, there's very low overhead that goes into comping. Sure, you may not get there $50 or $80 or $100, but the loyalty that it builds by doing that, and just the incentive that it puts on showing up and being there and having something to win. Like the trophies and stuff are cool. I mean, I like that, but even that kind of stuff kind of, you know, how many shelves are you going to put up with your little trophies before they start like collecting on the floor and do it? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I think it's been a really good incentive. The guys, like, you know, we had some battles to finish last night. The guy that won it was like super excited that he won the month, and he's been trying so hard. He's by no means our best driver at the track, but probably the nicest guy at the track, like just super polite, encouraging to everybody. So for him to win, you know, because he's pushing himself, putting himself out there and just continually like trying, it blew me away. I was like, I had no idea he was even close to winning. So when he won, I was like, dude, yes, like that's freaking awesome, you know? So
Yeah.
I think it builds up your community. I think it makes those guys feel good. And he was actually one that a month ago came to me, you know, he had heard some mumbling. Because we had guys, you always have people that aren't happy, right? No matter what you do, somebody's going to say something. Oh, I don't like the way they built the track. I don't like that layout. They should have done it this way. They should have done it that way. And, you know, we had some people. The first night we did it, it took a long time because we had to see 20-something people
And you
to
figure
see.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and figure out, you know, how we wanted to set it up. So there were some people that were like, I didn't get to drive, right? And that's a common complaint in comps. That's why a lot of people don't like to do comps, because you spend a whole day at a freaking track and drive for like
3
5
laps.
minutes, you know? It's like, it's brutal.
Yeah.
That's part of the mental game of that stuff, you know? So I want them to see that side too, but we are still a hobby shop in a mall. So I want people to be able to have fun. So, you know, we started out, we were like, all right, look, we'll do 10 minutes of Drift Wars and 50 minutes of open track. You know, give us the 10 minutes. We'll tell you, hey, 5 minutes, we're going to do battles. And then we'll do them, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it takes 30 seconds to go around our track.
Yeah.
So a minute to do a battle if they're on it, you know.
Turns it into like kind of like in a normal racing, they would have like heats basically. So you'd have, or almost any track really has specific time slots for practice, heat, whatever it is. So we started it that way, and then like I said, I mean, really it's been just a progression of like, hey, can we get more time? Can we get more time? Can we get more time? And really I feel like the guys that weren't having as much fun with it, they just kind of like, well, I'll just pick another night to be there, or they joined in and started battling with us, and they're seeing more of the point of it. They're having more fun with it. So but you know, again, just listening to the community and what people are saying, like that's a big thing. I think all of us are quick to like knee-jerk react to what, like, you know, that was kind of the point I was making earlier. Like RC Drift is some of the nicest people I've ever met, but they can also tear people apart. Like Traxxas, right? You know, case in point, all I gotta say is Traxxas, you know. And I don't think that's everybody. I just think that sometimes the negative people tend to be the loudest, you know. And it just takes a few of us to kind of like, hey, chill out a little bit. Like, we hear you, you're heard, you know, but you don't have to come at it so aggressively. And we can, you know, we bridge stuff a lot better, where, you know, if everybody just freaking goes crazy and burns the ships and, you know, says F you guys suck, like we all end up with nowhere to go, or, you know, or driving hours. That's my biggest, like, that's what frustrates me about that kind of stuff so much, is like, you know, you got a group of people that are putting in, and at least in our case, right, you have, you know, Judd obviously bearing the main responsibility of like being financially responsible for this and putting his name on the business and the lease, right? But then also all of us that help with the track and everything, it's like we're all donating our time to help make sure that runs good.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't even have a specific person in mind or anything, but it's just like things that I've observed in a bunch of different places.
I think it takes that. Like it takes those people, because the tracks that don't have them, those are the ones that struggle, you know?
They struggle, but yeah, just when you hear people complaining about stuff like layout or something like that, or days or schedule,
it hurts.
But you know, we could just not do this, and you could just not come here ever. because that's the other option.
I think that's, that is the thing that most of us want to go to, you know what I mean? Is like, especially when you put in all that time and work and effort and then you hear criticisms. But I think at the end of the day, we all want what we think is best for any situation, right? So
That's fair.
I can take criticism, if it's constructive. I can't take criticism if it's coming from a place of malice. You know what I mean? Like if you're saying something to me to hurt my feelings and that it's not a constructive criticism, you're just saying, oh, this track sucks or this or that upsets me,
Yeah.
But if you have a criticism, I feel like this is, this sweeper is a little too steep, or the zone should be a little less.
Yeah.
Like, at first I still have that feeling of like, well, why are you saying I did it wrong?
Yeah.
But if you can step back from that, like, I don't know, sometimes there's valid points in that too, you know what I mean? And that's what our track owner was having a hard time with, was like filtering that. That's what I think I'm good at, is filtering all that crap that comes from a community, any community, and turning it into something that's like, hey, what if we try this? What if we did this? Or, work, add a membership, do that, so, but that's what the people I was saying you need, are the ones that are willing to kind of be a buffer between that. Because it's hard as a business owner. Like at the end of the day, when you own a business, like the number one goal is to freaking keep, like, not just keep the doors open. I don't own a plumbing business because I want to keep the freaking doors open. It's too much damn work. These guys want to make money too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's a big difference, right? Like you have tracks, like I think a huge difference. You have like Scale Science, right? And Jordan and those guys, and the tracks, Ultimate, Calvin and Dave and all those guys down there. The ones that bought into it and do it and keep it alive because they're obsessed and passionate about the hobby. And then there's the ones that are doing it because, like you said, they kind of got caught in the wave. They were hobby stores, or they had the space or whatever. And I think communities feel that. Like when you visit those spaces, you can really feel the ones that the owners are truly immersed and really enjoy it.
Yep.
I mean, I still get that feeling from Steve and Joey at Super G when I go there. I think that's a big part. I mean, obviously Super G is a beautiful facility and everything they do, but to me, Steve specifically has made Super G, why it's up here. Like a lot of people are like, why is Super G? Like, why does everyone hold them so high? But, I think the way that people are and they interact in their community with their customers, I think that says a lot about their character. And I think they show how much they truly love RC Drift. And that's admirable to me.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, if you just look at all the money that they've invested in their setup there, it's like clearly
it's staggering. That business, I'm sure, is not in any way, shape, or form easy to handle. The inventory that they go through. Yeah. I mean, the space that they occupy in California. I mean, there's so many things that, kudos to them, I really think that they've done a good job, and I don't think it's necessarily achievable for everybody. I don't think that tracks should be like, oh, we have to be Super G. We have to be Super G. I think that's also a fatal flaw.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Super G is kind of like, it is the standard of like what is a high tier, drift facility, but it's not the rules. You know what I mean? Like it's not, you don't have to do that. That's just like, here's the example.
Yeah.
You don't have to copy the homework, but
yeah, I mean, again,
you can copy their homework.
Again, Scale Science and Street Break. I've never been to Street Break personally, but you can just see it, in the videos and the style of their track. Like, there's so many different styles that, I think falling into that trap also gets people because they want to build a mini Super G, and it's like not everybody has a 60 or 80 by 50 or whatever space to work with, you know.
Yeah, totally.
No, I honestly think that like people take for granted the area that they have, or like a shop area that they have. Like some of the guys here, like Jake's literally started out sliding in a schoolyard, right?
Yeah.
Like that concrete floor of just an extra space of like old Northwest Hobbies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, then we get a space where it's somewhat nice, and it's like we still want more, we want more. I honestly, my opinion is, if you have the surface, make it work. Whatever you're on.
That's kind of an interesting like juxtaposition that our community is in now, right? Because there are people, myself included, that started at the old track, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which in reality is massive, like relatively across the country. It's huge. It's not quite as big as Super G, but it was huge. And now we're in a slightly smaller space with all the poles and everything. And so I'm feeling that. Like, I'm like, man, I do kind of miss the old track, right? I'm not going to lie. But we have so many people in our community, a lot of this, Washington guys that have never had like a long term. I mean, obviously Northwest Hobbies was around for a while, and that's a pretty big spot too. But a lot of you guys, Adam, have had long periods of time where it was like a garage or an event or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's funny. It's funny, like the different positions we find ourselves. And it was a bit of a wake up call for me, even when we went to like pit stop. And it was like, oh boy, now that's a small track. And I can't imagine like freaking David's place.
I think the grass is always green right now.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see like Brett and Mike and those guys out in Vegas, what they're doing right now, because we've been doing the same, looking around for parks and pavilions and things to do some, just some pop-up type events. And it's so crazy to think that, because we're in South Texas and we have this nice air-conditioned mall, but there's that constant longing to like have something different and have something new and fresh and just try. And then there's a lot of us that didn't come from that. Like, we've always been indoors in these nice, like, tracks and stuff. So, like, for me, part of it is like, man, that's kind of cool to think about drifting outdoors or doing something like that. I've never really, done that, So I see them out at the park and I'm like, man, that looks fun. Like, that looks like the homies hanging out and just like having a drift session,
Yeah. That's funny, because we were just we have like a event we're kind of working on, like it's a car show that would be an opportunity where the space is a parking lot, so asphalt. And I've never really, I mean, I've the boys all have RERs and I drive them sometimes, but I never really drove outside, and I'm like, dude, I only have one chassis. I'm not driving my car out there in the parking lot.
Well, I think your problem is your 1 mil ride height on the rear. That's your problem.
I mean, I think that's one of the issues, but there's a lot of challenges. Like, there's a lot of wear and tear on all the parts for that. When it's like my main competition vehicle, I don't necessarily feel inclined to thrash it in a parking lot.
I just think it'll be funny because, like, if we do that and actually have a real comp there, because they do want to have a comp there, from what I understand, it'll be like 8 RERs just show up, and then like everyone else, and that's it.
Fully everybody around.
The RERs are gonna smoke everyone because they're so
fucking yeah, we do that. I like the car shows, but yeah, that's definitely one of the struggles, is like getting on a good surface. I've kind of moved to just doing the ones that are like indoor, but even the last one we did, like, they gave us a big space, but the concrete was just so rough that we were all having to learn how to like throw our car. And thankfully everybody was a super good sport. I bought an RD 1.0 just for that kind of stuff, and like letting random people, because I'm not going to let just a random person walk in the shop and drive my Golf. So I have just a like almost box stock. It has a gyro, servo, like zero, Yokomo zero mode, I don't know, just basic stuff on it that people can slide around. And I just do that when I throw. We do that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna slide the golem. I'll keep it my J-Tal princess, concrete princess.
Aw. I mean, that's where it's meant for.
To Dow, I don't really see myself ever buying an RDX. I don't know why. I can't give you a good answer why, but
That was a Dow question.
Man, I had a RDX in my hand like 5 times in the last like 2 months. I've had that box and I've been at the register and I just cannot. I've put too much time and love and like it just feels wrong. I can't switch away from my Golem at this point.
yeah. I'm not even like hating on RDX at all. Obviously, they're
No.
really great cars. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
For me, I think like if you start off with an RDX, it's a great chassis to learn on and to grow with. But once you find like your unique driving style, it may or may not fit the RDX, right?
Fair.
Yeah.
To me, it's just it's too obvious of an answer. JDM cookies. It's like I know that it's just like you can put that thing together and it's done. You don't really like it's you can
Plastic fantastic, right?
yeah like I don't know. I have an MD2. It's like I'm like the kid at in high
You like
school
to
that
suffer.
always listened to like some obscure music.
Yeah.
That's me.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
call the MD2 an obscure chassis though. Like
It's pretty obscure. I mean, and not too many people run them.
that's
You
because
wanna talk-
price point. Like
Yeah. We got an obscure one at the shop right now. I posted it in the Discord the other day, the Luis chassis.
Oh,
Y'all seen that thing before?
is it the trike? Or is
No, it's not the trike. It was, I can't remember. I think I just posted the box. I don't think I actually posted a picture of it because he just got it. It's got some aluminum on it. Someone said it was like a carton or something like that. I don't know. It's before my time.
Wait,
It
are
seemed
we
to slide-
are we talking about the solid axle chassis again?
No, I don't think it's solid axle.
You posted a box. Where is this box?
Let me see. I
Also
haven't
wanna
even
make
looked
it
at the
clear.
chat either.
I'm not afraid to drive any chassis outside, but it's the only car that I have. So like, that's why I don't want to drive it outside.
Oh, it's a Fantasy 2. Okay.
Fantasy what?
The Fantasy chassis. Haven't you seen
Oh,
them? You've seen them.
Yeah.
Justin bought the secondary Judd chassis.
Here it is. I'm posting the box and roast my rig.
Okay.
Their website, all they have is like tires on their website, just like RC tires. They have nothing about this chassis.
Okay, hold on. What is this?
LDXX Drift, 1/10 performance drift car.
Louise. Is this like some
It looks like a D1.
Alibaba shit?
It says it has aluminum motor mount, spur gear,
Yeah,
shocks,
it's a GRK.
servo horn.
Yeah. It's the D1 GRK, you guys. I
Or
don't know.
like
I-
an MST knockoff or something. It's got that middle motor thing going on.
It can't. If it's an MST knockoff, then it has to have the weird under drive shaft, like under the transmission, for
no.
the quick change gear ratios.
So Jake, when is yours going to show up?
Oh man, seeing that in chat so much that sucks, you guys.
What?
The whole D1 thing that's going around. Like the chassis are being sent, but they got sent back because of like custom stuff or like
Yeah. They're having issues shipping stuff out, it seems like.
And then we got
I know
Jake. We got Jake in like the response mode for D1, like being the team
that's
guy.
The thing that happens when you're sponsored is you suddenly become a customer service representative.
True that.
Or
I'm
do-
looking at the chat. I just looked at the chat now. Yeah, carton. I told them I was gonna shout that chassis out. That's our new comp chassis that we're bringing in.
This chassis? Oh, just
Totally fucking around. Please don't. Don't clip that.
I like the box copy is like they don't even use the word aluminum. It's just alu.
It's like carbon fibre, Cabron fibre chassis.
Technologia.
No, I mean, honestly, it didn't drive that bad though. He was driving it the other day and it seemed like it drove okay. It just probably can't find any parts for it. I don't know what you would do if you broke something on that car.
Right. Just buy another one.
Yeah, Dark Drift. Paid $650 in import fees a few weeks ago. Don't blame folks, it's getting pricey. Yeah, no joke. Tariffs are gonna eat away at this hobby, and it's gonna be like no other.
It'll be rough.
Hey, so that's another plug for Drift Wars because honestly, I think, we're in an industry, or RC is an industry that has probably been heavily built up on foreign goods,
Yep.
right? I mean, just a lot of it comes from China, a lot of it comes from overseas. So drift track owners are really going to have to be thinking of ways to not be making their cash flow on the inventory side of things.
Yep.
It's getting thinner and thinner. Like I think the margins for the RDX that they were selling at RCHQ, they were making like $20-$25 per chassis. So
Yeah. The
it's
insight
not-
that I have with Judd into the whole being a small track reseller is
it's tough.
it's really hard to make any money.
Yeah. So experiences, like that's what I keep saying is like the experiences, Drift Wars, whether it's Drift Wars or they just started like Friday Night Lights here. They keep the track open a little bit longer. We have scale street lights on our track, so they put in some like hue lights that they could turn orange and blue. They do like a sunset effect in there, and just kind of keeping those things in there. We play music. It reminds me like cosmic bowling type stuff. You know what I mean? But it just keeps people coming back. It gives us a place to hang out a little bit later. Hours for us to hang out together. But I mean, we went from having, 2-3 people a night. Some nights there's, nobody really at the track to now it's like every night there's at least 4 or 5 guys that are there till close. And then on Wednesday nights and Friday nights, it's like 30-40 people that are in there. We're all shoulder to shoulder, like, and that's my goal is keep filling that place up until they're like, we've got to grow. We have to move into a new spot. We literally can't keep the people, like we don't have enough space for everybody. So to me, that's the best way to grow is just, keep bringing people in. That's my motivation.
Absolutely.
Because I think we'll get to a point where he'll be like, all right, I have to get another spot downstairs, or I have to, we need a bigger spot. So I can continue growing. I just keep telling him, I'm like, we'll grow. Just give me the space. Give me, this, we'll keep it going. We'll keep, bringing people in. It's a scary time for a lot of them. So,
yeah, it's weird. I mean, we're definitely like our season is definitely in the winter. Like our
makes
peak
sense.
Season. But yeah, it's been noticeably like, okay, this is less people showing up regularly. I think you're right. We all need to buy, let's see, in a year, everyone's gonna be driving Traxxas and Associated. I think that's the plan though, right?
No. What are you talking about?
That's how that's supposed to work.
That may be James's plan.
Will actually work.
Kyosho. I think a Kyosho class would be cool just to see like 10 or 12 of those AE86s just flying around.
Yeah.
If we can get them
out at a better time.
A-Main said that they literally sold out in a few minutes or something like that. For however many that they had.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know if y'all have driven one yet. It's a little,
So like the videos,
$270 RTR.
Yeah. Like the videos that I've seen are not using stock electronics at all.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I drove it, you know, with the stock electronics on it, and I think a skilled drifter can do it, you know. But I think with maybe like a gyro servo upgrade, like that to me would be the way to do it. Is just do those two to give it a little bit more stability, you know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need. Same with like the LP 86s. Like it doesn't need crazy electronics. Like to me, a Futaba Accuvant setup in a car like that is just like completely overkill. So, you know, a spec class, I think that car would be really good for a spec class. You tell everybody like this gyro, this servo, and run it. Like show your skills on it, you know. I thought the Traxxas car was cool, honestly. Like, you know, don't shoot the messenger or anything, but I think it was cool for what it was intended for. I don't think it was ever intended to be a serious drift car. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, they knew what they were doing.
I think they tried too hard though. Like I think they tried too hard. Like if they got rid of the handbrake thing, it would be so much more maintainable.
That was a weird gimmick for sure.
The thing is, it's not, you shouldn't have expected anything else, because that's what they do as a business. They make RC cars for the masses. They don't make competition vehicles, right?
Dude, and if you slide that thing on some carpet or on the asphalt, like it's not horrible. It slides okay. Like you're not gonna freaking be, you know, crazy angle with it or nothing, but it doesn't just like spin out, right? So to me, that was the little Johnny under the Christmas tree. Like especially that e-brake function, like that's a total gimmick to just like, oh, you press it and it locks you start drifting. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because you don't understand like how to just like press the brake and throw it into like lock the wheels up, you know. So I thought it was interesting. I just didn't think that it was. I think some of the owners expected it to be a little bit better and were hoping that it would fill a void in the RTR market that it didn't really. But I don't think that was Traxxas pushing that. I think Traxxas all along was like, this is not a serious thing, guys. We're just throwing a, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think, exactly. They were not marketing to us at all.
But you know what? We got a guy from that car. We did a giveaway. The owner of RCHQ did a giveaway. Because bought one, he's like, I'm gonna go all in on this car, and he realized like, okay, this isn't gonna work, right? Like, give it away. So we did a month giveaway. If you came out for the month of January or something, you got entered. And the guy that ended up winning that car has turned into probably the best customer that they've had in the last 4 months. Like since he won that car, the amount of money, the amount of time, I don't know, he might be in the chat with us, Jesus. He's been in doing RC for like 3 or 4 months, and his progression is insane. Like he's gotten ridiculously good. He went from, I can't remember if he had something before the Traxxas. He said he was looking at cars. He was like looking at Amazon stuff, and then RCHQ called him and was like, hey, you won. So he came up there and he's been hooked ever since. And now he's battling. He's traveled out to Ultimate to do SDC out there. I mean, literally less than 3 months, and he's already comping in SDC and like killing it. I mean, how the
with the Fortec or with something
no,
else?
No.
Real car.
It got him in there with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
He started driving with us. He like went home and put a livery on it, slapped stickers on it. Like it immediately sparked a flame in him that has just been so cool to watch. And then the way he is with other people, the way that he's encouraging to other people, like he's been such a great addition to our shop. Like I told the owner Robbie, I was like, dude, that was the best giveaway I think I've ever witnessed, because of the way that the community member that we gained through that was worth, like, I would give away a Traxxas car every month if we were going to get a Jesus in our community from it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Normally people buy it. I thought one of the guys would get it and they'd turn around and sell it on Facebook Marketplace, and it'd be like, cool, maybe we get a Facebook post. Thanks RCHQ for the Forte. You know what I mean? Like, no, it like brought him in and sold him completely. So thank you Traxxas for that. That was awesome.
for sure.
Yeah, Carl, I knew as soon as if you would have just said I will only compete if it's an 80-86 cup, then I would know that's Carl, not Mitch.
Okay. Hey, so a while back ago, you'd messaged me, Aaron. You'd messaged me a book.
Yes.
So
Talk a lot if you haven't noticed.
no, it was great. It was great. And it's just the whole motto and the whole vibe of RCDN, right? Like that is completely important, and that's kind of what we've embodied here. Like, what is it? Where I saw the post here. I think it was a B-Rock, his Facebook channel that had said, oh, actually, it's here. I'm curious of how you would answer this. So
just to catch up on chat a little bit, Vittorio was mentioning how the GRK5Rs are made in Japan. I don't know if that includes the conversion as well, but I've seen one of those now in person. It was the conversion, and I think it definitely shows. Like the machining on those, just the parts are super nice. The surface finish they have and everything. You can kind of tell when something is actually machined in Japan.
And you don't need to upgrade it, is the thing. Like it's all there. Like sure, it's an investment, but it's all there. Okay, so Aaron,
I would actually consider one of those if I could afford it, but I cannot. So
same.
So how important is RC drifting to you? And if so, what kind of mark or legacy do you want to leave on this hobby?
I saw that one today.
Yeah, it was a good question. Like it's a good deep thought.
Conversation. Yeah. What does it mean to me? I mean, honestly, I go back to that drift therapy or, hobby therapy thing. I think as a guy personally, like I've not had a lot of outlets to, express myself or, just feel comfortable in a community and like welcomed in. I think as adult guys, we have a hard time finding friends, like you have your group of buddies that you knew from high school, but as you get older, you have kids or whatever, like, it's hard to find that. You end up with just your friends at work or whatever. So it means a lot to me. I mean, like I said earlier, every day I want to drift. I feel like it's like a necessity for me to get it out of my system. I have to go up there and, at least put in a couple laps. And when I'm doing that, it's just like everything else melts away. I'm not worried about anything else, my plumbing business, like what I need to post or, what the algorithm is doing now or, any of that stuff. So, it's part of my favorite next to, probably putting my putting my kids to bed, which that sounds bad, right? Like I love playing with them, but like bedtime obviously is fun, reading stories and stuff. It's really important. I mean, I don't see myself ever stopping at this point. Like I think I'll probably be an old man, just hopefully, sitting next to the track and still getting to drift. And that's the cool thing about it is like you see that, especially over in Japan and stuff. Like I want to drift with my kids. I want to like keep spreading this and keep doing it. That's part of why I really want the hobby to stay around. Want to have a space here in San Antonio that's nice for all of us.
And you also posted something on I don't know if it was you that posted on RCDN or if there's like a group of you that post, but this ties into it very well.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, honestly, like, and I know you're friends with me on my personal page, so I don't know if you saw my post that I made the other day about my own mental health struggles, but, like growing up as a teenager, I don't know what it is about being a teenager. It fucking sucks at times, and, I went through it. I doubted myself a lot. I was not a very outgoing person, which is weird for me now because I feel like, and it's probably compensating for that. I'm more of a shy, introverted type person, but I really force myself to push outside of that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important that we have these outlets. I think it's important that we share with each other that, you know, we struggle with these things. Like, you know, life is hard. And that's, again, part of why I do the RC stuff, is to take a break from it, and the laughs and the, you know, the daps and, you know, the walking into the track and everybody being like, what's up, Aaron? Hey, you know, like, yeah, I mean, it really lifts me up every day. And that's probably why I feel like I need to go every day, because I get that, you know, dopamine. I get that moral lift when I'm like, feel like life is just beating the crap out of me and everything else is just, you know, not that great. I can go to the drift track and just, you know, slide and let it all go for a little while. And man, I'm so happy my Golem is driving good again, because I've just been it's crazy. Like that again, I had the RDX in my hand because I'm like, do I want to just keep stressing over this, or do I just want to go to the plastic fantastic, you know? So but yeah, I mean, I think having the outlet, having the friends, like the guys that I've met, the, you know, whether it's people that I've met in person at these tracks or just people that I talk to, there's so many people all over the country, all over the world that message me, that we talk, you know, daily. I try to message people like in their native language. I don't want to offend anybody, but I want to be able to connect with people. I want to talk to people and them to feel comfortable. So yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me, to say the least.
Yep.
Yeah, like I think the reality is, like you were saying, for a lot of us, you know, we've kind of moved on from, you know, for whatever reason, the friend groups are not the same that they were. You know, most people, you kind of just over time just drift away or whatever that is. So like, shit, I'm busted. So when you're in this age group from, you know, we'll call it early 20s to however old people get in this sport, or this hobby, like it's you know, especially that like 20s to 30s area, you it becomes harder and harder to actually make friends and meet new people, and it really is just an outlet for that, honestly. Like I love drifting, and I love RC drifting, and I do all kinds of other type forms of drifting except for the real thing. And that's all fun, but really the main reason why I'm so involved and enjoy the hobby so much is because of all the people that I get to talk to and hang out with. That makes it, that's the rewarding part for me.
Sorry to make that so serious, you guys, but I do think it's important. Like, because I see it all the time that I'm at the track. I know the people that are having hard times, and I know that it's the escape. And what a good escape that it is. A little bit of friendship, a little bit of like butting heads, all that kind of stuff. Like I go to the track, I'm probably not driving the majority of it. I'm just like chilling with the guys. That's about it.
Yep. I find myself spending a lot of time talking to people, you know, like they'll feel bad because they walk in, you know, I walk in and they're like, hey, you know, can I talk to you about this? Or they want to show me something, but I'm like, that's what I'm there for. Like, that's all of it. Like, I don't want to just be there and be a zombie and then leave and nobody know who I am, or like, yeah, I mean, the friendships are everything. When I first started, I was like, oh, I'm going to build a track in my garage so I can be drifting all the time, or in my shop or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Jake,
you realize, like, yeah, Jake, hey, I'm jealous, you know, like if my kids weren't so little and it would wake them up, I'd probably be drifting more. And I bought a little drift cart. I just haven't really, I'm addicted to the 1/10 stuff, man. I don't know, the smaller stuff just doesn't scratch the itch as much for me.
Yeah, for sure. Same.
And then you have to, where I was going with that was, I need that camaraderie. Like, I like catching doors with people. Like, just drifting is fun.
Solo drifting in any medium, be it on a game or whatever, gets boring really, really fast to me.
Yep. There's no
Like,
pushing.
unless I have
There's
to
no...
you can link a track. It's like, all right, I'm over
Unless
this.
there's a specific, like real specific goal that I'm working on at that time, like, then I'll spend some time just zoned out, but yeah, for the most part, it's all about just vibing and sliding with people. That's why I like going to other tracks too, because getting to experience how they drift and like hang out with each other. And
Yeah.
pretty much every track I go to, like they bring me into that friend group, and like it's really cool to see how different but the same everybody is,
Yeah.
same drama, same like, there's always one person in the shop that is like weird, like it's hilarious.
Yeah, there's no group of people in the world that doesn't have individuals that they're not on the same wavelength, so
Yeah.
that's just human nature. I super relate to what Vittorio said. It's mostly just about getting food with people. Yeah,
That's how I found out about Portos.
totally.
Oh my God, don't. I
That's-
love Portos.
That's like my
That
favorite
place
thing
is
to do is
amazing.
to go eat somewhere after a competition or something, right?
Yeah. We need to do more of that in our community, but we're starting to get there again. Like our community's building up. We're getting a group of guys that like to hang out with each other a lot.
Yeah.
A couple months ago, I kind of planned like a little dinner Matsuri where I was like, we'll bring in catering, everybody can eat, and then we can have a fun Matsuri comp thing. We only had like 5 or 6 people that had RSVP'd, where now I think if we did it, it'll be like 25, 30 people that'll, because we just like hanging out with each other and vibing together. So
We so to answer JDM Cookie's question, so we are only LF3s. Mostly that was down to supply, like they're just the easiest to get in large batches. Also, we can put our name on them, which is nice. You can get it printed with your track name on it if you buy enough. But then the question of like why not any P-tile tire? It's mostly just like the whole goal for us is like tandem, and we really
BS1.
don't want anyone to have like a huge speed differential for any reason. We don't want people to be very slow or very fast on the track. So keeping everyone on the same tire just ensures that everyone is much closer in speed.
I mean,
I just saw Vittorio's comment in the chat about round 3. I was supposed to be out there for Cali for their round 3, but I actually canceled my flight that morning. Wasn't feeling it with the wife. I had like cleared it with her, but we didn't realize it was Easter.
Oh.
So yeah, and I was getting the vibes that it was cool, but it actually wasn't cool. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna Southwest. You can save your points, go to the next round. So yeah, that was kind of like a morning of like 1 a.m. I was like, I'm just gonna earn the brownie points with the wife, and I'll catch the next round. So definitely still planning on going out either round 4 or round 5. I haven't checked the dates recently, but I'm still gonna make at least one more round before finals.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
True.
Polar
True.
opposites in chat. We got Vittorio on board, happy wife, happy life. And then Andy, RC Drift is greater than Easter. Come on, you guys.
I still got in trouble because I made a picture of Jesus drifting at the track, and she was like, "That's not funny. You can't do that." And I was like, "Come on, it's Jesus, our guy Jesus. He can drift."
Oh boy.
Did you hide Easter eggs at the track? That's what you should have done.
No, I didn't. I didn't tempt her. I didn't want to get in trouble. Like I said,
Vittorio.
happy wife, happy life is right. She lets me go to the track every day. I have 3 kids, so obviously, she's really freaking cool. She's the only reason that I'm able to do any of this stuff. She sees it as free travel for her. She gets to go to California and
Right.
go visit the tracks and stuff. So,
There you go.
but yeah, I definitely got to take care of the family and make sure that they're happy. Yeah, you don't want to be that. I've seen too many people get themselves in trouble over RC stuff. So
Yeah, Andy, it would be pretty difficult to find a wife by being into RC drifting.
I mean, just
I'm not
think.
try- yeah. I got lucky once. I'm not rolling that dice again. Like, no way.
It's like you gotta
Yeah.
find the girl that accepts your $3,000 play toy. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, don't
and
say
that's
that.
just one of
It's
them.
certainly it's not the best
Don't say
hobby
that.
for meeting singles.
He said $300, not 3,000.
Oh man. No.
No, we joke about that all the time too. Like I was doing a little like driver feature thing with one of the guys, and I should know better than to ask that. 'Cause I was like, "How much do you think you have in this car?" And I was just like behind the camera. Why would you ask that? You don't say that.
Oh no.
You can't
No,
put
it's
that kind of stuff.
I ask it all the time. It's gonna be a featured question all the time.
He goes, "You're not gonna put this on YouTube, are you?" I'm like, I'll cut that part.
You
Yeah,
know,
shout out Rolling Garage does have a wife lounge, so that's pretty nice.
That's smart.
That's a new track feature.
Super smart.
so does that include like spa day too? Like nails, pedicure?
Oh,
Like that would make bank.
maybe when they knock down the next wall, they can
That's-
add
That's gonna be
massage and
Kevin.
nail services to the lounge.
That'll be Kevin in Dubai when he get all that. He needs to have a nail salon, a freaking like coffee shop.
I mean, honestly, that I'm down. I'd be down for that.
I think it would do good. Maybe a cigar place. Are the cigar places as crazy up there as they are here?
They exist. They're not.
We
I don't
have-
know how crazy
We have
they are.
private cigar clubs down here. This is
Yeah.
totally like off topic of anything, but every time I drive by one, I'm like, how are they making enough money off of cigars that they can have these? I need to do some drift events with the cigar guys. I'll deal with the secondhand smoke. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a different level of connected.
JDM Cookies on board. He'll do a manicure before drifting. But you know, like I've always believed that as far as like hobby shops go, like if it's like local shop, mom and pop vibe, you know, no association to any sort of bigger corporation, right? It feels like there's always like the primary money gig, and then like the RC part is always like the side hustle. And
Yeah.
those are the stores that I've seen as successful.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's time to switch gears.
Look at some chassis.
Look at some chassis.
We got here fast. This has been a great episode, Aaron.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So,
Appreciate you having me again.
yeah. So let me switch. Here we go. So picture number 1.
That's my baby. That's as it sits right now in front of me.
Okay, so tell us the rundown of your chassis.
This is my junior funded overdose golem.
Brought to you by Junior.
Yeah, pretty much fully optioned at this point. HG3s. I don't really have the whole like desire to spend a bunch of money to like have the newest option of everything every time something comes out. So I finally got full option like a little bit earlier this year, and I've just left it alone. I do have a kaiju coming right now, so gonna try that out. I'm scared because last time I messed with my deck, I just totally screwed myself.
What's your kaiju gonna be? Just a,
I don't know. That's above my head. It's whatever he sent me. He told me to pay. I said I have a golem. It's red, and he said, "All right, pay me this much."
so okay. Okay.
I was like, "All right, cool. Thank you, Kevin."
Great customer service, Kevin.
Well, so the thing is that like if you buy
There's, like,
a
options,
box,
right?
Sorry, what?
There's like options to it, right?
Well, yeah. So like you can build the kaiju however you please with whatever front end and rear end, right? But like if you buy a box stock golem and you buy all the parts to upgrade, then you have still a box stock golem. Like yeah. I ended up with two
Yeah.
yogis essentially.
About that.
And then you build yourself another golem.
Yeah.
and then you have
I
more
see.
spare parts.
This is like a joke from I used to be like in the gun community a lot, and it would always be like, "Oh, I did my build and I have this one part left over. Guess I'm
Build a whole
building an
nother one."
entire another
Yeah.
GOM."
No, I've my stuff has pretty much been like handed out around the community. We all share our stuff, so it's like if somebody needs something, if anything breaks or whatever, we're always pulling from our parts and like giving it out. So I wouldn't be able to piece, nor do I think I would want the headache of a second GOM. Like I don't know how some of these people, one of my buddies has like 6 of them, and I'm like, you just hate yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a roast.
there's
Wow,
something to
something.
roast on here.
I
There
see
is definitely something.
You got a couple pilgrim peasant black oxide screws right there.
Oh yeah, I do.
On
I'm
the upper
still.
deck.
Yeah, I love JSM, but my wallet doesn't.
I can only afford.
I have to piece that stuff together, and yeah. No, I thought you were gonna point out. I have different wheels, or I have different tires on right now. I'm running LF3s and DRCs, but you'd have to see that the stickers aren't there.
Oh, that's a minimal from roast my rig. You're going for you go high here.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this chopped off antenna. Brr.
Yeah, who
Oh,
needs
yeah.
that thing anyways?
I like that.
No.
Who needs that?
You can go shorter. You can go
No.
way shorter.
No, but it messes up. It's probably doing more damage to the radio frequencies than anything. There's a redundant antenna in there, you guys. Come on.
I don't think I cut it. I don't remember cutting it. I
mean,
don't know.
Like, clearly you didn't just yeet the thing out like Jake would. So,
Yeah, just rip it out.
there's a zip tie here.
Yeah, that's horrible. I hate that.
That's fair, but yeah, it's better than just leaving it. But you can just shorten those. It's not hard.
That's above my pay grade.
No,
Yeah, fair
honestly, if you get the tool, it's a soothing thing. It's like building a chassis. You're just building cables. And then like the stress inducer is trying to sleeve cables. That messes me up real bad.
I had that in there nicer, but I just had to do some like adjusting with my servo the other day, so I like unclipped it and stuff, and then it was just sticking out. I was like, whatever, fuck it. I haven't been confident in anything, so I didn't want to like final place anything in the meantime.
Okay, we're
It's a
moving on.
pretty stereotypical. I just went back to that Highcade. I really like that shell. I hated building it, but I just like that shell because I built it. Like I have my Lunatic back here
Mhm.
that is beautiful. You like knocked it out of the park. I love this car. I'll show up.
I
But
have a love hate
Yeah,
with
Matt.
the A90 Supra. I think
oh my god, A90 the
IRL,
world.
they're sick.
A90 the world.
Anybody that posts one, I always send them a comment or a message back. A90 of the world. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I probably have like 6 or 7 A90s.
Jeez.
Did you do matte black?
So that was actually like I think Spastics, like purple to blue. It was some kind of color change paint, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna put matte over the top of it, and it'll be a cool color changing matte effect. And then it didn't color change at all after I put
shoot.
matte on it. It killed the color change altogether. So
Damn.
it just looks like Batman black now. It's just like dark, like a darkish bluish black color. I don't
Mhm.
know
It's
what
so
color.
sick though. I really like it.
Yeah, it was a happy mess up. Like it was a happy mistake. I just
I've
rolled.
got one of those.
The Marvera.
I see that you're switching between
I like
the Merv and the.
Oh, that's the other one. That was like 2 days ago. Yeah, I just took it off tonight actually,
Okay.
and went back to my V1 motor.
How is it? Have you driven that yet? No.
Yeah. So I drove for about an hour with the Mervera tonight, and then I switched to back to my overdose motor. I drove the overdose motor for like a year plus. It's a 9.5 turn, so it's it's a little spicy.
So what was your observation? I've been curious to like, because I've been driving a Merv for a while now, so I'm kind of curious, like someone who was driving a Merv going back to like what they
Yeah. I drove it for like 2.5 months, maybe a little bit. I'd say 2-3 months now. I drove the Merv. At first I felt like it flicked faster, like the transition was a little bit faster. I don't know. I don't notice a whole lot of difference. I feel like I have to work the motor harder, like higher up in the RPM range. I have to give it a little bit more to get, but it doesn't feel underpowered by any means. Like, just, I didn't touch my suspension. I didn't touch my tune, anything. I just slapped the 9.5 back on it. I was already running kind of a stiffer suspension in the back, so the 80 grams didn't really mess with anything, but the car felt really planted tonight. Like, it didn't really mess with me too much. So I don't know. I'm a driver more than I am like mechanical in any ways. People ask me like, if I change this, what, I'm like, I don't know, man. I just drive by feel.
Yeah. I was just curious. I like what you said there. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like, it's definitely not a power or anything like that difference. It's just a different motor.
Yeah.
And for me, I've been really liking what it did to the weight of my chassis and everything.
Yeah, I really just changed it just out of sheer kind of like wonder, I was like, I wonder how much I should be able to feel it now, because I'm bad at feeling small changes. I have to make extreme changes.
I'm with you on that. Like my I rate our ability to perceive like small changes very low compared to everybody else. Everyone else will go on about how they can feel little different things here and there, and I just don't believe in it a lot of the time. I'm just like, I don't know.
Put a vector on it.
Yeah.
Did you solder your motor wires directly to the terminals?
Hell yeah, direct solder always.
Smoked.
Actually, I mean, that's not the word. Honestly, those terminals are super close to each other.
I mean, basically, so many of the Acumance motors we see in Roast My Rig have some kind of, measure taken to keep the
bullets,
prevent the wires from coming out. So that's the most drastic version of it. But
man, that was pissing me off. It was like every time I would drive one of the wires, and they're like, "Oh, just spread them out." I'd spread them out, and then
never had that issue. That's so weird.
Crazy.
Occasionally will push my plugs back in, but that's it.
This is getting me.
Yeah.
5 mil adapter.
An adapter.
Yeah.
School me. I want to know, because I've always ran 4 millimeter, and I don't know. I always end up having to buy those stupid racing things to adapt. I think I have a 5 millimeter JSM plugs that I just need to solder on.
I doubt anyone's gonna notice the difference between 4 to 5 millimeters. Like the amp draws.
I just feel like 5 is more common now.
I mean, only because race scene, right?
Yeah.
But that's it.
But so
you can get the 1-up plugs in either 4 or 5 mils. So like,
yeah,
they're both out there.
Most of them come.
What's up, Ray? Welcome to the chat. You're a little late there, bud. What is it? It's the same time in Canada. What are you doing?
Yeah, the zip tie trick. I'll live by that. But at the same time, it is a zip tie. There is that. Okay, moving along. You got a Z? Is that what I see?
No, that's my RD.
RD1, yeah. Which is basically just a Z. Right?
Yes.
There's like no differences between an RD1 and a Z, I don't think.
You've got the aluminum
but I like that
adapter here.
That's what I started on.
Oh yeah, I did. I changed that out the other day because I had those just laying around in like my part stuff. Because I was gonna leave that car just like pretty just standard stockish, But
I really want to do that with an RD2.
Okay, I'm curious if you had the same exact problem that I have, because you buy like the silicon 12 gauge wire for whatever reason, right? Like black and red comes in the set. But you use all your black and all you have is red left, and this is what happens.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I'm looking at my red stash. Like
Yeah, it's like all I have over here is red. That car drives okay though. I haven't spent any time messing with it really, but it was one just to, like I said, beat around and not worry about it. It's got like I like to put everybody's stickers. I should have taken a picture of it because it's got all the stickers that I collect on the bottom of it.
apparently I'm supposed to play a video.
You've been Vito demanded that you play a video. I
Yeah.
heard him.
Let me figure out how to do that really quick. Well, actually, let me see if I can just share the Discord window. Oh, no, I didn't like it. Hold on. I'll figure it out.
While you're doing that, I just wanted to shout out again the Texas guys and Joe at the hobby shop. I think he might have been kind of the one that texted Logan or one of you guys and was like, yo,
Yeah.
meet with Aaron, so.
Yeah, that was me. I'm glad you brought that up. If you guys want to be on the show, it doesn't take anything. Just hit us up. Literally just send us a message.
Yeah.
Instagram, whatever, and we'll put you on the schedule. That's pretty much how it works.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean, just thank you to those guys.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you
for
to
sure.
the people that have supported the RCD and stuff. Like it is the community's page. Like that's what I see of it. I don't see me as RCDN. Like I see that as our community. So but I really do appreciate everybody that's bought stickers, rep stickers. Like it's really cool to see the brand grow and see people identify with it. So, yeah, just thank you to everybody that's been supportive and not just kind of like doo-dooed and on my attention whoreness, because that's what I feel like all the time. I'm like, I'm just the attention whore that's putting this stuff out there. I'm not. It all exists because of our community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. The whole like principle of what you're trying to do is awesome. That's I wish more people were like that. Also, quickly, I do want to shout out. We talked about Joe a little bit, and I kind of just learned this today, but he's been, I guess, battling cancer for like 5 years. So I think he's going back in for some chemotherapy this week. So thoughts and prayers with Joe for sure. And
he's
seems
the
pretty confident in
strongest.
that,
Yeah, he's the strongest, most motivated. I mean, he's been such a cool like role model for me, like inspirational on that level, and just what he's done for drift and in general in South Texas. Like he's pushed everything forward. He's brought
absolutely.
all these people in. He's brought Vittorio, Alfredo, the overdose guys. Like he's constantly pushing, and it's super cool to have that. It's made all of us better. So super shout out to Joe for sure.
It's the video and roast my rig, he says.
Yeah, Joe. Maybe I don't think you'll watch this, but if you do, hope you're
Nah,
doing well.
he hates RC
Everything's
drift.
going good. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
If I was him, I wouldn't watch this. Oh, okay. We got the BK double stack.
Oh.
Oh, with the transfer. Let's clean that up,
Wow.
boys.
There's a
I
wall
feel like
there.
we can
What was
make
the
that
goal
work.
of that?
Like you can drift homeboy into that turn, right? Like you don't
Yeah.
have to slam into the wall.
Yeah, we need to finish to that.
Yeah, let's clean that up.
Oof.
Maybe put the car on sideways and just like land and drive away.
Hold on, what are they saying?
We need some more fingerboard videos, like Jake and the guys.
Oh, we gotta reply back to that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I told Aaron we have the trick. We just haven't actually filmed it and done
Nailed
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours wasn't exactly what we wanted. Like we want to get him grinding across the top, like of the car with the rail on top of it, and so.
Yeah.
But we went with the trailer first, so y'all got to reply now.
Yeah. we need to get that. We'll get that
he's-
done on Friday.
He's
Yeah,
so
maybe,
good at
tomorrow.
I don't know
Get
how. I don't know how y'all do that stuff.
So
Like, that's crazy.
The problem is, look, DJ's a great fingerboard guy, but our stud is not usually there on Friday nights which is when we're all trying to do that stuff. DJ is perfectly capable of doing
He
what we're
could kill
trying to
it.
do, but like I
Yeah.
feel kind of wrong like not having fun with it.
That's awesome.
So, one last chassis from Aaron. Oh, wrong one.
Oh, wait.
Oop,
I
hold
know
on.
which one this is going to be.
Yeah.
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 Piff.
Oh, okay.
That comes from Jeremy out in Utah.
So,
He's,
is that the Yusakani chassis? The D3T? No,
yeah, I
it's,
believe so. So
That's-
I saw this chassis at the Scale Science Matsuri last year, and he had it out there. He had it all hooked up. I don't have any electronics in it right now because I tried to build this thing. I've tried to build it like 3 times. I have no idea how he did it. Like it doesn't drive right for me. I don't know how the steering is supposed to work. It was just a cluster every time I've tried to do it. So I need to just like send it back to him with a package of electronics and be like, bro, can you put
Get it
this
going.
thing together? Because it drove so good. That was probably the most fun I think I've ever had drifting. Was at that Matsuri, sliding that thing. Like I was saying, I'm like catching pockets with people, like putting her, you know, leg or pocket right in people's door was just the funniest. Like I could not stop laughing. My mouth hurt when I got like I just was smiling the
I
entire
got that link.
when I told him before I left, I was like, if you ever decide to sell this thing, let me know. And then we ended up doing a trade for another chassis that I had. So yeah, it's cool. It just sits on my shelf. My daughter wants to take the doll off of it. She's like, can I play with that? I'm like, no.
No, that's my doll. That's
It is-
Daddy's doll.
That's part
I
of the
have
chassis.
one. And then I have my picture of my slide shell in the background there. I don't know if you
Ooh,
caught
I
that.
like slide shells.
It sits on my desk as one of my shout out to the homie Keith.
Yeah, dude.
I love his work. It's
That guy-
just so
That
pretty.
guy rules at painting, dude.
That body is
That's
on a world tour right now. Unfortunately, it's been stuck in the UK for like 3 weeks. Shipping error. We accidentally put the value too high. You don't want to ship something over there. If you're shipping something to the UK, I don't know if this is common knowledge and I just didn't know it, but like $100 or $130 max value. Anything other than that, they're like, y'all are funny with these tariffs. They've been doing the tariffs things for a long time. They're like, oh, that
Would you even? I don't know that I would even put a value on it if it's going to if you're just sending someone like a body to paint.
yeah. Well, I was sending that shell back to him to do some touch ups and some extra work on it or whatever.
Right.
And the
Yeah.
hobby shop that sent it for me, they, no fault to them, like they were like, oh, it's probably $1,000 body. She didn't ask me how much, and that's not
Yeah.
it's not
No,
how much I
that's
paid for
wonderful.
it. But they, they put a really high value on it. So then when it went to be delivered, they wanted like $350. to
Yeah.
deliver.
So if you're shipping things and it's not like a purchase, you don't have to
Value
put a value
like that.
on there.
Yeah.
It's a 0.
What is that?
This is our boy Brian Jose.
Oh my god, Jose, you've regressed. What
Are
the
those-
fuck?
Are those wires soldered in?
What the Jose?
I think this
Brian.
is one of the don't ask, don't tell type of things.
Got one going up and the other two going down. If it works, it works.
If you're like
What are we
selling
looking at?
someone something, you kind of have to put the value on it. But if it's just like if you're just like sending a body to someone to get painted, there's no value on that. That's just for goods, like importing products.
I think
Oh,
she was probably
NSFW.
more worried about the insurance side of it if it got messed up. She was like, I don't want them to.
Yeah, that's kind
fuck
of
it
that's kind of separate. You can have that separately
Lesson learned.
for sure.
Oh, is this the new addiction bot? No, is this the Rev D body?
I don't know what that thing is.
I don't know.
I like that gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ben.
a local built that one.
Ben did
shout out
that.
to Ben.
Okay, coming from Manu. Manu.
Manuel. That's Manuel Wong. He's from San Antonio. He's
That
he's
just looked like Judd's car.
he's one of the guys that has like 6 overdose chassis. He's
I see.
obsessed.
Yeah.
Those
You
are
just helped
clean
me get my
solders.
cast.
See, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
the zip tie.
And zip tie.
I don't get that. I literally never, and I've been running a rad and a agile and now a Merv. You know, once every couple of weeks, I like push the connector back in, but
Hey, I'm gonna be controversial right now.
do it. I love that.
For all you guys, y'all don't need all them fans on that car. Y'all don't need to
Hell
sound
no,
like
you
you're-
don't. Unless
you
you live
don't-
in Phoenix.
You don't need to sound like you're about to take off for flight.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I still run no fan.
Team no fan, baby. I've been running no fans on my Accuvance electronics for like 2 years.
You don't need the RPMs, Vito. You don't.
My bad. I'm no fan because of Vittorio. Is he saying fans?
He's saying he's a high RPM boy.
Oh,
But I am a high RPM boy.
so am I.
Well, I don't know what my wheel speed actually is, but I have a very low final drive, but not a very high timing total.
Vittorio of all people should be sending it to the moon. That thing should be running at like
Fair.
200 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Okay.
not too smart with electronics, but with the Merv and the rad setup, only my ESC gets hot. The motor doesn't actually get hot.
I
That's
hover
probably-
around like 120, 140 if I'm like really hot lapping, but
Also track size, obviously.
track size, surface too probably plays a big,
Yeah.
you know,
you,
VCT might get a little warmer. I don't know.
so this is like wanting to be overdose level, but just can't. Like, got some things going on. We got
Is
the
that a-
overdose cover.
Oh, I don't like the double stuffed Oreo of capacitors
Caps on everything.
with the taped. I don't like it.
I
I don't like it.
like the magnet quick disconnect.
I liked mine. Like, scale props to scale Mile High, because I got mine from him. But we ran at a car show where the floor was magnetic.
Oh,
And
what?
some-
Yeah,
some-
the Portland Convention Center, the floor has like iron in it or something.
And
Wow.
we're not talking about like a slight magnetic force. Like, if you stick your phone that has like a MagSafe cover on the back of it,
Like,
it'll
stick to the ground.
stick.
Yeah.
damn.
So some of that stuff got like in in between the pads here. So it was making things freak out for a bit.
Oh, yikes.
And thus I took them off. So, yeah. They're cool connectors though, because you don't have to, you can blindly connect them. You don't have to worry about that.
That's definitely the way to do it if you're running lights, for sure.
I just stopped running lights. They got to
I
be
mean,
such
yeah.
a pain.
I've never ran lights. I'm just like, no, don't care.
That's another slideshow.
Is that
That's
the Oreo?
Man. What's that?
Is that like the old Oreo body from Yokomo?
I'm not sure.
I
That
think
was
so.
I don't know. We got like 5 slide shells all in like 1 week. I was talking to Keith and his buddy Steve trying to get one shell, and I ended up with like a bunch of them. So we ended up with a lot of them in Texas, and Manuel has a couple of them. So now he's Texas Steve.
Texas Steve.
Yeah. Ooh.
More
Man.
Josh work.
Yeah,
Eeks.
more Josh.
Josh, another slayer of paint.
A90 of the world.
We have to
That's
try
great.
really hard because he
does like
says
A90s, doesn't he?
he wants to roast. He wants it roasted.
You can't roast Josh's cars. I do.
I
I
mean-
love the air filter on this one. It's like a NASCAR motor style.
Does it actually? It's actually K&N.
Yeah,
That's
his
sick.
work is super nice.
Yeah, he's a nutty guy.
So
I wish people could like understand how much work doing all the logos and everything in paint.
So much work.
Ugh.
the
Those
most
guys are
under
insane.
The most underwhelming part of this body is the spoiler.
wing.
Yeah.
Plastic, single mold wing. Yeah, he does need to upgrade that, huh?
Or at least just paint it. Like, if that had a nice gloss to it, that'd be sick.
Tell him to I'm gonna be controversial again. Tell him to tell Thrash to send out his cages.
Oh, here we go.
I
What
like
is,
that.
it's Onisiki parts.
They always look so nice.
I love the aesthetic. It's just they're not that great. At least I don't think they're that great.
I was gonna say that's above my technical capacities. People go crazy with that stuff.
I love the aesthetic. If they just had a little bit better electronics, they'd be cool. I love this.
Yeah.
Like it's not the official weave, but it's enough to make it look good.
Yeah. He's been on that I don't know, what is that brand? The ape.
That I'm not familiar with.
I've seen it other places too. I like the blue one that he did of it too. It looked really cool.
So okay, Onisiki cap is actually really good. I think it has a lot of capacity. I don't know about the discharge though, because like it, Vittorio says it's bathing ape. Is yeah, holds a lot of capacity. I don't know what the discharge on the cap is, and that could just be a tuning thing. I know Kevin did a lot of testing with those capacitors and all that fun stuff. Japanese clothing. I love how scale this picture is. Like,
Right.
I don't know if it's
You can almost
photoshopped.
not even tell that it's an RC car.
Mm-hmm. Like the hints.
Even the
Are the
concrete
lugs.
looks kind of real.
Yeah.
The single.
Is that
shot
like
of
a was that a tire stem or what is that? That little like on the left there?
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
Oh.
Could be.
it's crazy. Looks good.
I know my DC aluminum wheels from way back then had valve stems on them.
I got a set of scale dynamics. That's what goes on the trike,
Yeah.
but I've never ran them or tried to mess with them.
That guy really does love A90s, huh?
He's on to something. Yeah, that's the blue one that I like. That one's nice.
Okay, I have a roast for this, for the red car.
Okay.
I might be dumb. I might get roasted immediately for calling this out because I'm not a mechanic, right? But I'm pretty sure that you're not really gonna do a V8 like air filter like that and still have an intercooler. I don't think that would be a turbo car.
What if he just wanted a big radiator, like just out in front?
That's an intercooler.
I know it's an intercooler, but still.
I don't love the top K&N filter. It's not my favorite.
I like it because of what it implies. I love the NA V8s, like whenever Daigo or even like with RTR when they're dipping into NASCAR technology.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to me. I don't actually like the way that NA V8s drive in terms of drifting. It's a little challenging, but
I was gonna say I had a C7 Vet that I loved the way it drove, but I wasn't drifting it. I was way too scared for that.
it's just you always it's the power band is a little more challenging to deal with than like a turbo car.
Got you.
And then we have Vittorio coming back. Got more Vittorio. Is this the new one or the old one? I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell the difference.
I think this is the new one, so it's built to box stocks specifications. He did a video on like the small changes that he did.
Is
But-
that the stock bumper? That's cool looking.
So Vito, is this the actual kit GRK5R?
Yeah,
Okay,
new one with Merv.
got you. Yeah, I mean you can almost tell, but look at the parts. The metal parts are like, they're just like extra nice. I don't know how.
We have
how
now
else to
seen over
describe it.
10K RC drift. Yeah. Shh. Oh, did you see the new Overdose fan covers? The weld ones? Those are pretty sick. I don't know how much they are, but they look pretty sick.
I saw like 25 or 26 bucks, something like that.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Not for Overdose.
I was gonna say for Overdose, that's about the cheapest thing you're probably gonna get. I got mine. It lives on my desk.
You don't want to put it like in between, like at slant angle or like on the high mount motor stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like the idler
Just a
cover.
bag. Yeah. No, I still have my like motor mount that I never put on my remote like all the cool kids did.
So, okay. Your Mervera, Vito's Mervera, both soldered directly. Logan, you don't have a problem with it?
Nope,
Hmm.
no issues.
Pushing out, you mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like I have like it's just my luck. Like that stuff would happen in the middle of a comp or like right in the middle of a run. Like just anything that I could, any fail point that I could eliminate, just makes me that much more, just that much more peace of mind. I'd be the unlucky one that like forgot to press it in. It'd been 2 weeks and it actually did pop out on me. So.
It sucks when it like just randomly falls off in the middle of like a sweeper or anything, and your car just drives or it stops
You're like,
driving. And you're like, what the
Dead
crap?
car. Dead car, dead car.
It's like it was working just now.
And then that 2 seconds of like, all right, what did I break? What just happened? Is it, and you're like, oh, just the stupid wire pushed out. That's a crazy paint job.
Like even this, like this is paint, or it looks like it's paint. This still takes a lot of time because you have to do all the layers. Although it's only half the car.
Dude, mad
That's
props to the people that paint, because that stuff is not easy.
What in the world? Oh, it's
Yeah, I'm
at-
glad our team has a pretty good painter. He just figured it out recently.
We got some
Pretty
guys. We got some guys in San Antonio putting it together. Yeah, Jake.
Shout out to Jake, being in this hobby for how long and finally painting his first body last week.
was it a
Yeah,
black and white team fade? Or was
Probably
it
the
green?
best team fade of them all.
Yeah, he did the best job. It was one of those.
He had to see what we all had to come up with.
learned-
and so
he
that
learned
he
from
could
all
just
the
set the
mistakes.
bar.
What is this? Is this like a D1 with like a? Oh no, it's
No, it's the MST I forget what FRX. I think it's-
with the like a bingo. Is it a bingo chassis?
looks like a bingo. Or at least it has the characteristics of a bingo.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. A little
DJ.
dusty there, bud.
MST.
I like those look.
What are DJ's thoughts?
DJ don't got nothing like that.
Oh, DJ's being preoccupied with his body. That's what.
I gotta
LST
find
Customs.
that picture real quick. That's in Roast My Rig?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to do Snows, DJ. Snows is in there. What was that kid's name? From Tandem, the kid with the dreads.
Oh, damn it. Yogi?
Yogi, yeah.
I don't see that one.
It's in Roast My Rig at the bottom, but I don't see this.
Well, I see his, but I'm talking about the MST one.
It's a little bit above that. It's Frog.
Oh, I see it now.
You're selling your board? What?
Who's selling the
Yeah,
board?
FRX fully hopped up. Oh, geez, with the Bingo Wasp. I didn't even think they had decks for those things yet.
Aaron selling his board.
I'd let it go.
That's crazy. You guys are crazy.
4 of 200. That's a good number. Just kidding.
Or no, I got 168.
No, the number. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm looking at the Roast My
Oh.
Rig.
I was gonna say I wish I had 4. No, that really I don't care.
Ooh, this one has
Hey,
the
man.
Nitro starter on the bottom too.
A
Dang.
number's a number. Stamp of approval for that FRX.
That thing looks pretty nuts. I wonder how it drives. Are we doing like a live auction for the board right now?
I was gonna say, message Aaron
Hold on,
for the board.
500. Let me hear.
Do you guys watch Cletus and like his YouTube channel?
You better
Yeah.
believe it, brother.
His RVs, the
That was
RV
great.
auction. Oh my
Those
gosh,
were fun.
that was insane. Only because it's him
Yeah, I
though.
offered
No
him,
one else could pull that off.
Hey, it's got Alfredo's signature on it.
Oh, damn, that's extra. That's at least $100 more.
It's a
It's got
phaser.
Alfredo, Ito, like pretty much the whole Bullet Tour group that came down.
You gotta get.
I didn't get Vic. I didn't get Vic because he wasn't on the team yet. I can get him though. He's in Houston.
There you go.
So this is the phaser that will drift.
That's the one with the secret gyro and servo on it.
I mean, it's got AccuVance motor.
Holy Bill, it's got $1,000 worth of electronics.
He's got it's a phaser with the traits on it, dude. Come on, man. And we're still doing Deans, mid Deans. Ugh.
It's not
Yeah,
just
brother.
Deans, it's knockoff Deans.
Fake Deans, dude. With bullets, I hate it.
It's like copycat Deans.
I hate it so much.
Oh, he has a video. Here we
Okay,
go.
I mean that's pretty sick. Little home track.
He's got poles too. He's got air ducting.
That's a huge. That's not a. Yeah, that's
Make it work.
a freaking pillar.
That drives good.
Yeah,
Looks like it's driving good.
So you got to buy
Great.
the car, and then you got to buy electronics that cost twice as much as the car.
I'd be
It
curious
just
to
needs
see what
everything.
the lock angle is, like how far, what kind of angle it's got.
It's on a 550. It's supposed to work.
550 make anything work, baby.
Yeah. We got the Traxxas. Jesus got the Traxxas sliding pretty good. Honestly, it's the best sliding Traxxas I've ever
We have
driven.
some Traxxases that do pretty well.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot of Traxxas left to it, but
Okay, we're going to run through these because we need to real fast. Okay, I don't know what filter you're using, but it's annoying me.
It looks like just like hella white balanced.
Yeah, wrong white balance.
The wrong
It's
way.
It's
something
too
that
cool.
somebody who likes Whataburger would use.
Oh, we got the orange, yellow, and blue wires. Hey, these motors aren't like, they're decent motors. I've had one
That's
before.
what happened to RD. Not bad.
Not a filter, just crappy lighting on the
Just
bench.
bad light.
It's those
Get some
LEDs.
warmer lights, my guy.
I've never been to Whataburger. I don't think I've ever been to a place that has a Whataburger.
Whataburger is not at all what people from outside of their region think it is. It's a standard, like, mediocre. It's just a fast food restaurant.
Yeah,
So,
because
like,
they
In-N-Out?
sold it to the Chicago people. They freaking sold out. It's not true Texan anymore. No, honestly, I'll probably get shunned by my Texan friends, but I like In-N-Out better than Whataburger. So
Look at the
Dude,
shock difference.
That's a hot take.
What is the?
oh no, that's off the Louise. I already know it. I hate that car.
Louis shocks.
That's like racing buggy shock
Oh,
length.
God, why is it? Why?
What chassis
Damn,
is
long
this?
travel. That's the Louise.
Oh, the
This
Louis.
is that Parton 410 knockoff, whatever. Luis.
Okay.
We think it's like a composite plastic with like a overweave. Like we don't, the carbon fiber does not feel right on that car.
So, obviously, Vito and I are stuck on the food part of this conversation. So, like, I think you're thinking of P. Terry's, maybe, Vito? Pretty good. Like really good burgers. But, like, Whataburger to me is like, it's on the same level as like McDonald's or Jack in the Box. It's just a fast food place. It's fine.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And if their fries are cold, junk. If they're hot, okay, they're good. But
Yeah.
if they're once their fries get the like least bit of cold, you might as well just fucking throw those in the trash because they're
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. So yeah. So Austin, or I don't know, like the Central Texas area has a lot of like basically a new, better version of like a lot of the popular chains around. So like in Austin, I remember there being, instead of like Qdoba or Chipotle, there was like Sharky's or something like that. And then like
Man,
Pete
Austin's
Terry's,
fucking weird. They're
Pete Terry's
weird.
like kind of equated to like Austin's version of In-N-Out. And then there was there's like an Austin version of like Five Guys even. I don't
We
remember
don't
what it
claim
was.
them, just so you know. Here, like Austin, they're California pretty much at this point.
We don't claim Austin.
There's a
Leander
place.
is different. The hobby shop is in Leander.
There was a place out in I think it was in Laramie, Wyoming. I think it was called like Big City Burrito or something like that. But it was the burrito restaurant, like that was on the left side of it, and then on the right side was like a wild game butchery. So it's like fresh meat. This is Shockums in Discord.
That's one of our new guys in San Antonio. He's a shell builder. Y'all keep an eye out for him. He's Shock Shells on Instagram. He's starting to get his stuff together, putting together some really nice looking shocks. I don't know about that. Y'all got it. Yeah. Y'all got it.
Dude, you
I
got the
asked
race
him.
wires from drones. You got-
I said, what is that? He said, it's an extension. I was like, okay.
What are we doing, dude?
This is
What are we
FPV
doing?
life, like in its fullest. My gosh.
It's not necessary. You can.
It's cool
make
though. It looks nice.
cable.
Yeah, his cables look nice compared to like my zip ties.
Nice is relative. I mean, it looks good for what it is. I
Interesting.
guess.
Well, the thing is that like FPV, they'll throw like 6S, like all the amps at these things on this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that was kind of my question. Is like you're just putting something in between the like, I don't know, communication of that.
Oh, this, I'm not a fan of this.
No, that's terrible.
This is
That's
bad.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just put plugs on those wires and not have whatever is going on there.
Hey, but when FPV is live, I don't know.
But
I think
Vito is also
I think
right.
they do come.
Vito's
that.
also right about the drone motors. I think I want to try hub motors in the rear, so that you have 2 motors and you can do like torque vectoring and shit.
But then you'll have
Fancy.
still on 2S, or are you willing to make the upgrade to 3S though?
Yeah,
Like 3S,
whatever. I feel
4S.
like it would probably work on 2S because like 2S is still way more power than we need.
I love the yeah whatever answer. That's my answer for most things.
Yeah, like figure it out. Whatever you
Whatever.
need is what you need. But I still, like I said, I think 2S could power 2 motors no problem and still be plenty of power for us.
There you go. There's one of his shells he just did.
Do you think there would be a difference to like, because Bell motors, they're all sensorless, right?
Yeah.
So we'd have to have like the whole FOC thing that crawlers have, right? And then we run into the sound of those crawlers. Have you heard those things?
No, I haven't heard a crawler.
What are they called? Lance, what are those called? They're smooth though, like they're fine. It'll be fine.
I like that. I like that color. I don't know what color that is, but
It's almost like Laguna Blue, like Scotto's fucking Audi.
What is the absolutely loud, annoying like Holmes hobby outrunner motor? It's like the 6-shooter or something like that. Revolver.
It sounds like dial up.
Yeah, revolvers. They're like the loudest things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about outrunner motors in the rear hub. And I'm sure you can wire up the gyro to the rear to like somehow figure it out.
cut.
Have
Yeah.
like crazy speed in the turn or something.
Is that what we want though?
I was gonna say that's what we need is more people complaining about the speed in RC drift.
It's kind of, it's my comment was, it's not, is it the way that I want competition to go? Hell no. Obviously what we're doing now with like single motor rear wheel drive is fine. But like in terms of like just exploring the possibilities, like of building, like if you were going to build an F1 car that was a drift car, like what would the technology you would use? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
just if you could just go and make it as fast as possible, what would that look like? It's just interesting to me.
Do you think? I mean, I could foresee like sync problems, but oh well. I don't
Yeah,
know.
fan car. I've been Vito. You've been watching the show. I've been pushing fan car for a while. We showed that picture of the McMurdy fucking upside down on that, right?
Did you see a picture where the McMurdy was like upside down, suction to like whatever
That's
it
what
was?
I was saying. Yeah, that thing can suck itself to the ceiling without even moving. That's I need that in a drift car.
That'd
I know it
drifting
ain't
real
it for
fast.
like actual everyday driving, but I just like the idea. Like my dream is always like for F1. Like I've been very intrigued by the autonomous racing series because there's not a human in that. So like the idea of like you can just, there's no rules, run what you brung. How fast can we make a race car go? You know what I mean? Like you don't have to worry about safety at all.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
So this is snow drift RC.
Yogi out of tandem. Cool kid.
What's that white thing?
It's the antenna.
Curly antenna.
Who needs that?
Nobody.
Cut it off.
Nobody needs that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there,
Ready?
Vito, but I also like to know, like, explore what's possible.
With the
That reminds
current
me of-
reel set. Huh. I mean, are you saying let's put rubber tires on our cars and see how fast they go? Like drifting?
Rubber tires aren't allowed by the current rule set.
Oh, that. Okay.
This is no doubt some. I like the battery holder with the truss design. It's pretty solid.
That's really an antenna. That just looks like someone like scribbled on the.
Yeah. Just curled
It's
the antenna.
tripping me out.
I've never seen a white one before, but
I know, so I'm tripping out on that thing.
It's probably white balance again. Like,
no way.
yeah, guaranteed.
No, because look at the wheels. The wheels are white.
Yeah.
But the wire is supposed to be gray, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The wheels wouldn't match.
We're looking at the random stuff. Is that a 3D printed? What was that?
The battery tray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's raw
Nice.
component stuff right there.
I was gonna,
Nice.
I was gonna say I couldn't zoom in close enough. I was like, I assume Chris made that, but I didn't want to assume.
Nice.
Okay, can someone tell me the whole thing about the stickers on the wheels? The front wheels specifically.
Yogi, how is your wire white? Did you make it white, or did it just come like that? I've never seen a white one before. He said it white.
He opened up his receiver and put a white wire with an IPEX connector on it.
That'd be cool. I mean, that's a mod I've never seen before.
The tire sticker. They're
Tire
interesting.
sticker.
They look cool. In my opinion. I don't know. It's interesting.
I know I had some for a little bit.
DJ ran that. You
I
started
actually-
thinking it was affecting your grip, though, huh?
Me? No.
Oh, okay.
No, I took them off just because I think it was because I had ran them at the Hobby Expo, and it was like, basically time after that. Those tires were done.
I gotta say, this thing's overall pretty clean. Over 90. You can back that off. You don't need that.
What if that's camera angle though?
It could be, but it kind of looks like it's just way over 90. Because look at the knuckle.
It's super flat.
Yeah.
Like,
Unnecessary. That honestly, I think that hurts you more than it helps.
Well, yeah.
I'd say, would that make you crab? Being super sideways like that?
It looks like it, Vito.
I would think you'd become just like a sled at that point. Because you don't even need that much angle to become a sled at slow speeds.
That will just anchor. That's a boat anchor if you get past 90.
Mer.
The old mismatch shell.
Missile.
Yogi, we need all those POV videos from when me and DJ were down there. I know you got them.
And the final one coming from a Pacifico 87.
Antonio. The Texas guys showed up hot tonight.
Hot with a blurry picture.
Come
No,
on.
it got better.
Yeah.
It's better.
Smoked. It's called depth of field, Adam.
I know it's called depth of field.
You got that Google Fiber too? Your internet lagging? Antonio's he comes from the real high-end helicopter world, so he's been a good help for me. He knows a lot about electronics and the frequencies and charging and all that stuff, so he's progressed a lot as well.
That's
just in a short time.
One thing that's funny to me is that while we do we all complain about things being expensive and our hobby and like spending a shitload of money on stuff, but our stuff, like relatively to almost any other hobby that I've ever been in, is so cheap. Like,
Yeah,
even a $2,000 chassis kit is like, not that I'm gonna go buy a GRK5R because I can't afford it, but like that is, I've spent so much more money on other hobbies.
yeah, definitely music. But I mean, even for like he talks about the helicopter
Yeah,
stuff, and it
helicopter.
blows me
You spend
away how
you buy a-
expensive that.
What, a $5,000, $10,000 helicopter,
Yeah,
and you're never gonna break anything.
and that thing could kill you, like literally just freaking
Yeah.
take you out. Like,
For sure.
but it looks absolutely amazing. Like all the
Yeah.
3D helicopter craft that they can do. Man.
Yep. All that crazy flying. I don't know. I've tried ever since I got into it. I tried different RC stuff. Nothing's hooked me like the drift stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we kind of hit on that. It's like the community somehow breeds, because it's not inherently a competitive thing. You can be competitive if you want to be competitive. But for me, the core principle of enjoying RC drift relies on having other people to drive with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, the core like goal is not to beat other people or be better than other people. It's to have other people with you driving. And I think that's why the community is so like awesome. Like, we all, every show, every guest we have on is like, yeah, the community is great. It's excellent. And I think that's the core reason. Like, you're not dependent. You're dependent on other people to enjoy the hobby, basically.
Yeah. Look at how many teams we have in a sport that really doesn't have any team competitions. Like, there's not really, there's nowhere that
all the teams are, it's like, that's just the bros. That's who I hang out with.
Yeah. That was the one that I was like, that's a great, for one of y'all's future podcasts. Like, talking about teams to me is a big thing for us. Cause again, I think people, especially new, they come in and they're like, I want to be on a team. I want to be on a team. I know I was that way. Is part of why RCVN started, right? So, but just getting new drivers and those people that are coming in to see and realize, like, the teams are just the bros, man. It's just the guys that like to hang out, spend time together. Like, we're chilling. And if you come into a community and you hang out and you vibe with people, and you're probably going to end up as a part of that team too, so don't force it and don't feel like there's anything wrong with you. Just, keep driving, keep letting those guys help you and listening and learning, and you'll naturally just.
So that's, you're touching on it, right? Like, so what we saw with buggy stuff is, if I come to the track and I help you learn how to set up your car, what I'm doing most likely is like, I'm helping someone beat me. Whereas in RC drifting, if I come to the track and help someone with their car, I'm creating another person that I can drive with. Yeah. And that is going to help me enjoy the hobby more. Yeah. Versus the other way around, where it's like, this is someone who I'm trying to not have.
I want to be better than them. And inherently. Yeah, for sure.
Myron Shockley. Got it. No more drone stuff. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. Like, that's the end answer right there.
Shout out real quick, side note. I know we're about to be wrapping up soon, so I just wanted to make sure I said this. You guys keep Brenna in y'all's, thoughts, prayers, if you're about that. Her family, they're going through, just went through some tough stuff. So she's an awesome artist. She helped us out, like, the RCD and donut stuff. Like, she drew all the art for that livery. So you teams out there, get with her, talk to her about that. She's a really cool person. So if y'all don't know Brenna and you need a good artist, definitely hit her up.
For sure. We can back that up 100%.
She's an awesome person. If you ever get a chance to meet with her and talk to her, she's quiet. So she, you gotta, like any of us, we're a little reserved, but she's been really cool. And, I just, like I said, I mean, just keeping her in my thoughts and prayers while her family goes through that. It's a tough time. So.
For sure. Okay, you guys. Anyone else that you want to shout out, Aaron?
Just my local community, Robbie, for sure, the owner here in San Antonio. I mean, if it wasn't for him and keeping the doors open, keeping his business going, I probably wouldn't be in the hobby if it weren't for guys like Joe and, there's so many people that I've met, the Houston Sitting Sideways crew, my buddy John, JJ in Corpus. There's been so many people that just have helped me, supported me, and kind of been the wind in my sails. So, just grateful. I think I could probably just sit and like shout out people all night long because it's just an endless list of people that have been really cool.
I think we need to start doing that more, to be honest. Ray started that, so we'll keep
You
on
guys.
going.
Let the guests do their shout outs.
Big shout out to you guys for keeping the podcast going and giving us stuff to watch and interesting topics. And I always look forward to seeing who you guys have on and what y'all are talking about. And I think it helps us all. It helps us know what's going on in the community and just see things from each other's perspectives, because we get stuck in that social media world and our own lives. It's hard to kind of branch out and see it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I appreciate that. Like, it's so sick to hear, because in my head, like, nobody watches this, and like,
what are you talking about?
We all watch. We talk about
got-
it throughout the week. Like, it's a great show. We really enjoy
It's
it.
cool to hear like people talk about like watching the show, even if it's not live or whatever it is. I love it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Make it worth it.
Yeah, to be able to hear like the people that listen just throughout the work week and all that, and to even look at the analytics for it, it's all really, really cool stuff. Although the normal,
I don't get to see any of that. So
the average age bracket is the average guy between 25 and 45. So yeah,
that's what I was saying, dude. I knew it. I know what our demo is, brother.
I think y'all's show is for us. You know what I mean? I tell people a lot of times, I'm like, RCDN isn't always like necessarily aimed at us as RC drifters, because I'm trying to put stuff out there that's going to bring people that don't know RC drifting.
Yeah.
Like, y'all's show is such a good way of like seeing what's happening in the community and us talking to each other. And like, I mean, to me, this is the show of the community for the community, just like Bob, and his show down there, like, they're staples in our community. So they're definitely much appreciated, and y'all got a loyal following. I know every time I log in, there's like 30 or 40 people that are in every single show, like chatting and, awesome.
Yeah, there's a core. There's definitely a core group of people.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really cool to see.
If Bob's show wasn't like what it's like at 1 or 2, like just in the middle of the day.
I know. It's hard for us in America to catch it. I've caught it like once or twice. But yeah, no, it really is. It's cool to have these shows. And there's been some people like, they're like, oh, y'all should do a podcast. And I'm like, it's so much work. Like, I don't think people realize the work and the commitment that it is. So
yeah,
shout out to you guys for that.
I didn't get there when I was thanking you for showing your appreciation, but I will now that it's kind of relevant. But like, I don't always want to do this on Thursday. You know what I mean? Like,
I believe
it's just not. It's not my preferred. I have a day job and I got to work, but most of the time when I do, if it's a day that I don't want to do it, and I do the show, at the end of the show, I'm like, I'm so glad I did that, and that's definitely the case today. For sure.
Absolutely.
DJ, you're being hailed. You need to do a kickflip.
Kickflip time.
Uh-oh.
He's not prepared.
Nobody will.
He's tossing bodies around.
So, DJ is getting set up. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Good show.
Yeah, great show.
Chat was live.
Great topics. Important topics. DJ, do a kickflip. Oh, that's 2. You need 2.
Figure it out.
You got to do 2. Anyone else? You got your last.
Just hit the double.
Hit a double.
Hit a dub, dude.
Get it done.
You got that.
Pressure's on. Pressure's on,
man.
DJ.
Up the mouse pad, dude. You don't got no pop on that thing.
That's what I'm saying, dude. These mouse pads suck, dude.
They need to make better mouse pads for fingerboarding next year.
It's like, watch out. That might be true.
Crap together.
Know your audience.
1.
Clean.
You got a double?
Oh,
Close.
1. Back to back.
All right.
All right, nope.
Back. I can't do the back to backs. I'm trying to go for the 1 to 2s. Can't do it.
All right, we got to start a game of skate. Is what we need to do.
Uh,
We'll
I'm out.
tag. Or,
I might need to phone a friend for this one.
Yeah, we'll have to bring in the ringer.
Yeah, I'll
Phil.
bring Phil in for this one.
ooh,
Maybe we just
There
need
you
to
go.
upside your board,
Oh,
like
yeah.
get one of those big hand boards.
Yeah.
All right,
one
you
of the
guys.
homies
Oh.
makes them.
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
right on. All right, you guys. Thanks one more time. Aaron, hang out for after show shenanigans because we always do that. Yeah, we'll be here next week. We've got TRCR coming in next week.
Nope.
What? What?
ECRC.
TCRC.
TCRC.
We have my arch nemesis coming on. It's gonna be great.
TCRC. Okay. And then
Let's
Mitch.
go.
We got Mitch on the 22nd. And we got Durkee on the 29th.
We got Mitch and hopefully, Carl, Ike drop in. Ryan. See Ryan a little bit. That'd be cool.
And then starting in June, we've got some other guys that aren't necessarily in the drift hobby that have become in the drift hobby. Harley with Josh with Harley Designs. And then we got someone who's been in the hobby forever, Afro and Joey, coming back on the 12th. So
That's
one more
great.
plug, you guys. If you want to be on the show, just hit us up. It's as easy
I'm gonna
as
do
that.
another round of booking here, so send me a message.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Don't.
A lot of fun.
It's not. I'm glad Joe hooked us up, Aaron, but like, it doesn't take. You don't have to know someone or just anyone that wants to be on the show and has something interesting to talk about. Like, just hit us up and we'll put you on schedule.
Dow, you can be on the show.
Yeah, you can be on.
You can be on the show. Maybe
Y'all
we'll
need to
force
get
you to be on.
Y'all need to get Josh with Ideal Auto. I know he's a big.
Yeah,
he's a big
yeah.
supporter.
No, he can
He's
come on
smart,
whenever he
too.
wants.
All right, you guys.
He's always got some crazy projects going.
Yeah, I love it. He's another one of those guys, like similar to Roadside, that like it's one of the people that I watched on YouTube way early on.
No, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You guys can't keep on doing this crap. If Miko and Alfredo go first, that's like almost a never, except after 2 drift to death. So, yeah.
Yeah, we even have like Vito trying to get Miko to come on, and even that is
Come on, Miko.
Oh no, like we have the commitment from Miko. It's just
Yeah, it's gonna
at-
happen. It's just
in
not gonna
August.
happen any sooner than August 8th or 10th.
Okay, you guys, for real. I'm ending it. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Later.
Yeah.